feel like we should have some entrance music, you know, like da-da. We're here. Hope everyone's all good. Always remember to smash that like button. That'd be much appreciated. But we are live. Live. Yo. How are you, mate? Dan, hope you're all good, dude. I'm literally just cracking a beer. We're waiting for Richie, who's going to be running a little bit late because he's tending to his cats. He's not, he's having dinner. Yo, long leg airsoft. How are you, Sam Martin? Oi. What's up, brother? Sam, that's it's a rather epic picture that you've got there. A pretty epic photo. JJ Actual, cheers, mate. I know you're drinking whiskey, but how are you? Sam Brooks, what's up, dude? How are you? You can all hear me okay. We're going to have no technical issues tonight. Well, fingers crossed we won't. Fingers crossed. Scout Recon, Cophead Airsoft, what's up, guys? How are you? Cheers, lads. Cheers. Let's have a little slurp. Don't worry. Don't panic, everyone. Richie will be here soon. You don't have to worry. Yes, mate, I'm good. Richie is just finishing dinner. He had some dinner plans tonight, and then he's going to join us. And then we have a special guest joining us as well tonight, which I'm hyped about as well. Someone that I've been airsofting with for a long ass time. So looking forward to having him alongside as well. Ethan, how are you, mate? I wonder if Brad will join. Brad has been stalking the Instagram feeds with the EM TAC profile, his new business, which you should highly avoid at all fucking costs. Probably get done for slander now, as he threatened to take me to court before. It's not Wings. Is the special? Everyone's saying the special guest is Brad. Listen, I wouldn't have Brad on here if he was a new millionaire that was willing to give his funds away to a bald person. I just never, not a chance. Chris Hughes, how are you, mate? I hope you're good. Another guy that I've run with for many years, Mr. Hughes. How are you, dude? NTAC, yeah, fucking what a joke that is. Archie Carter, what's up, mate? How are you? What's good, boys? Got the burgers and beers at the ready. Oi, cheers, mate. Have a little slurp to that. Super hyped. Please get him on. It'd be amazing, mate. The geezer ain't got the minerals to call me a cunt over text, let alone come on to a predominant THG group area chat thing and have something to say, which is a shame. We all like people that have got a little bit of minerals. I'm actually having to manually control some of the comments, so I will try my absolute best. But guys, thank you very much for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Obviously, any questions that you do have, any comments, whatever, whack them in the comments box. We will try and address them as quick as possible. My Sog Jester family is all up in the gaff. Absolutely. Got a ton of time for the Sog Jester lads. Really looking forward to having them down at some shit that we're going to be doing. I will be talking about the THG Ruckus event tonight. I've had literally hundreds of thousands of questions on what we're going to be doing event-wise. So I will definitely cover that tonight, 100%. I will also try and stay on top of all of the comments that are coming in. I do have to monitor them in two different places, so just bear with me. Let's go back through some of the amazing comments that are coming in. Just bought a chest rig from him. The Gucci gang, I take it you bought one of those Plat Attack Pathfinders that he was flipping. Hopefully you didn't pay too much for it. Tyler Westerman, how are you, mate? Scambo, all up in the house. What's up, sir? Mate, that's a fucking cool picture, Nick. Just saying. Gucci picture. So yeah, all good. What's up, boy? Bulldozer Actual. Yeah. Good to see we've got some cool people in here. THG for the boys. Okay, so that's why he suggested that store to me on Facebook, even though I wasn't looking to buy shit brand new from a store when I can use Google. Yeah, it's his business doing shit. I don't know. You know, it's easy to tout kit. Camo Customs, all up in. I do think I do think that there should be a little royalty thing when camo arrive, just because they are kind of a little bit of airsoft royalty up in here. Thank you very much, Bulldozer Actual, for the $4.99 super post. If you put text, you do know that it retains in the top of the chat for everyone to see. Winks Gilmore, what's up, boy? I think Richie's arrived. I've no fucking idea though. Who knows anymore? Tack Belts, what's up, dude? Funny enough, I was talking about you today, Tack Belts. Hope you're all good. Thank you very much for joining. We have Tack Belts and Camo Raids. We are blessed. We are truly blessed. Backcountry Workshops up, dude. How are you? Thank you very much. It's Backcountry's first evening with us, having a few beers, mate. So cheers. Thank you very much for joining. Obviously, super appreciate it. We'll try and get Richie dialed in as soon as he is here in the lobby. He's just getting set up at the minute, so we'll see as soon as he's done if he's all set up and ready to go. I think he's selling PVS 31s on his website when I checked. Yeah, 31s. Sorry, boys. And we'll try and get Richie in. But yes, Backcountry, we are good. As always, you know, we're always up to shit. We've always got a lot of stuff on the go. Really excited to talk about the THG Ruckus stuff tonight. And to talk to Matt about that as well. Most of you guys are going to know Matt. He's been kicking around the scene for a while, but we will be having a gas with him. And then as soon as Richie's ready to join, we will go from there. We'll talk about the Ruckus event, what else we're going to be doing. Giving his cat a finger. Oy. Cheeky finger. Super excited. James says at me. Evening all. So Mark, we've got so many cool people in here tonight. Thank you all very much for joining. Appreciate it. Alex, hope you're good, dude. Haven't caught up with Alex in a while, but it's all good. Lee Hurst, how are you, mate? I'm good. We've got Richie just sitting in the wings at the minute. He's just getting his comms sorted, and then we're going to have Matt joining us as well. And I'm really excited about having Matt's opinion on this. He's going to be doing the Ruckus events with us. I'll wait for Richie to get on so that we can answer all of the questions about the Ruckus event. It's a very specific type of event, and it's not the only one that we're going to be doing. We will do some other shit as well, but no, not Envy Matt, another Matt. John Wilson, what's up, boy? So weird seeing you come up as John Wilson. Everyone's like, who the fuck is John Wilson? It's John from Gravy Seals, aka Sir Smoke a Lot, aka Mr. Green Thumb, aka BigSpliff.net. Yeah, he goes by many acronyms. John. Terry Gillett, what's up, dude? How are you, mate? You're looking a little bit green. Just want to say, if a bit green and pasty, but we'll get there. We will get there. John Morris, how are you, mate? Welcome to all of the people that are on Facebook. By the way, if you are watching on Facebook, they do filter comments. So if you put any profanity at all, whether it's shit, fuck, anything like that, Facebook will remove the comment so they can't be seen on our feed. So if you do any naughty comments on Facebook, we won't be able to see them. And when obviously we would love to be able to see all of the comments that are going in. I'm just going to make sure YouTube has not blocked anything. They haven't, which is great. Stig Mouse, is that right? Hopefully I've got that right. Stig Mouse. Welcome, mate. How are you? Let's see if Richie's ready to go. Should we throw it on him and see if he's ready to go? He's ready, I think. Let's go. Richie.
Hola, buenos dias.
How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Have you got any echo or anything like that? Anything like that coming back?
No, but we might get some when Matt joins. But at the moment, we're good.
Right. Yeah, apologies, mate. I've literally ordered the food from the pub down the road. Obviously, they said about 10-minute delay. I was like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, as you know, mate, I texted you like about 15 minutes ago. I said, look, it's half hour late. I phoned them up. Yeah, mate, I didn't put the order through.
You're joking?
No, so they're doing it now. So I'm going to have to bounce in like 20 minutes, run down, grab it. I'm going to smash it on live on air. We'll try and do a time challenge or something.
Yeah, but you know, seeing how much you can fit in your mouth in a short period of time is always good, right? So, wait, Richie, I've got something just for you, and Me and Matt was putting it together earlier, so now we have this pop up.
Right, bear with me, because obviously I've got the camera.
Oh, you're on the mobile, aren't you?
Yeah.
So when it starts going wrong, we've got Carol Baskin to drop in for us. You know, she's live in the studio. We can just have Baskin pop up. Start Baskin.
No, it's this way, isn't it? It's this way. Right, I've got to go this way. Right, try and get her back up again, mate.
I'll put it back up. You need to come over just a little bit. The other way. Go towards it. That's it. Lean in a bit more. Lean in a bit more.
There we go. Thank you, Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin. Goddamn Carol Baskin. We will have some more mystery guests that pop up, but Carol Baskin's definitely one for today.
She won't take my tigers.
Have you seen the thing about storming her lion tiger sanctuary thing? Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Mate, amazing.
Oh.
Absolutely amazing.
We nearly saw a bit of dinner then.
Catch us all at once.
They can't. John, what's up, mate? Mid-Tigress. Tabbed out, comes out to Baskin. Come on, Baskin. Up in the game. Sam Brooks, again, mate. Really appreciate you joining us. Greg Williams, how are you, mate? We've got 69 people in. Just saying.
Hey,
one in either end.
You have to do it. Every time someone says 69.
It has to be done.
Yeah.
It has to be done. Richie, so we've got you for a short period of time before you go off and eat.
I know, but I'm literally going to run downstairs, grab it, come straight back. But yeah,
okay.
Go.
I want to talk about the Ruckus event. Now we've got some people in, and we can answer some questions about it. So the one that I got asked is, why are you doing an event? And I think I'll let you answer it.
Why are we doing an event? So it's to scratch an itch, basically, from a very selfish point of view. As anyone knows who watches any of our live streams, we love Matt Belgrove. I'm basically his love child. I'm the son he never had. No, we love Sterling, always have done for years. They put on great events, they really do. They are, in our opinion, well, my opinion, and I'm sure Tim's as well, the pinnacle of Milsim, what we have in the UK at the moment. Unfortunately, and it's just the way the sites have gone, Sterling have a big stronghold over like sort of Catterick and Trees. Two very, very, very good sites. And if you imagine, they're good on both ends of the scale. So if you wanted rural, green ops, sneaky, gilly, cam creamed up, the Trees is the one. If you want door kicking close, about as close as you can get without getting your eyes wet, Catterick is the one. But for us, right here in the southeast, we're literally as close to France as you get without getting your eyes wet. Catterick and the Trees are like that. Do you know what I mean? The two opposite ends. So it's so hard every time for me and Tim to justify traveling all that way. The time, the money, the fuel, time off work, everything. So for us, we really wanted to try and do something a bit closer to home. Secondly, with all this stuff going on, because you don't call it COVID-19 in the UK, we just call it with all this stuff going on. We just want to get our rocks off. Want to get a shoot on. That's literally it. We just want to fucking get out there, have a massive tear up. No real sort of. This isn't a Milsim. It's not that. It's just a massive get your rocks off. Throw a metric ton of pyro, and try and register something on the Richter scale with the UK Geographic Society.
Trying to make an impact on the Richter scale. So, I mean, that was one of the questions, right? We're not doing stuff to compete. We're not doing Milsims events. We're not trying to move into that market. This Ruckus event, again, like Richie said, is about scratching an itch, and it's about having everyone turn up ready for a tear up. So they're not expecting to be tabbing about and doing all this slow shit and whatever. It's literally just about going out and going fucking ham, putting loads of rounds out, getting the cobwebs blown out. And also we've made quite an active decision to allow a lot of the things that Milsims and airsoft companies seem to be reining back on. So that's types of smoke, types of pyro, and the usage of those pyros. So it's one of them. I just wanted us to be able to not have that worry of restriction.
Yeah, and I think, like you say, Tim, we're not trying to compete in any way, shape, or form. We're not going, we're going to be the Milsim Central or Southeast. It's nothing like that. It literally is, we want to have a tear up. We want to go out, get our rocks off, put a shit ton of rounds down, use a shit ton of pyro, just have a good old skirmish, a good old tear up. Some real basic, real back to bones, basic objective based games. So we're not reinventing the wheel here. It's just real basic. So anyone that thinks they're going to come along and have a Gucci fucking tasking or this or that, or nah, mate, just turn up, shoot, fuck off home. But likewise, we wanted to sort of do that with, like we kind of do with our black events, sort of like kind of invite only. So we want to invite the people that we can know and trust, that don't really have to be marshalled, although there will be marshals there, obviously. But we want everyone to come along, have a good time, and not worry about egos. Not worry about who's there. It's not who's there; it's what you do when you're at the event that counts.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not, with these ruckus events specifically, we're not going to try and overcomplicate anything, which means, it's basic bitch for sure, but it enables you to just focus on murking up and putting rounds down. And, I've seen guys buying insane volumes of pyro, literally bought crazy levels of pyro. And that's what we want this to be about. Yes, we're not having mortar tubes fired off people's shoulders, because I think it's fucking dumb. Two, we will be using the equipment safely, but at the same time, we understand how tag rounds work. Richie, probably the best person out of anyone I've ever met, and I've put a significant number of them down now as well. That you can't always shoot them like that and expect to hit people. So what it will be is an engagement distance that you have to be 30 meters away from the people you're shooting them at. But it's essentially after that 30 meters, whatever angle goes. If any of you've been to the quarry before, you may be, a 30, 40 foot height advantage over the players that you're aiming at. In which case, you cannot fucking cant your gun back. You're going to be almost firing down at them. We just need to make sure you're shooting at a safe distance.
I think it really is a case of anyone who's used tag rounds for an extended period of time will know what you're talking about and know what we mean when safe use. And like exactly like you said, Tim, obviously there was the infamous video of me firing a tag round almost flat. So from the camera angle, it looked flat, but it was just about 5-10 degrees. But what I didn't see is the guy I was shooting at was about another 20 to 30 degrees down the hill. And how many meters? I don't know how many meters that was, mate. It was a lot.
Oh, fucking long way. 70 meters?
It must have been 70, 80 meters anyway. So
it's a long ass way.
We're not too fussed about. We're not too fussed. We want people to be aware of the angle they're shooting it at, but it's common sense, big boy rules. Like if you think it's too close, it's too close. Obviously anyone seen using it, in a dangerous manner will get told to leave pretty sharpish. But this is why we kind of want guys along who we can trust. Who will push the not push the boundaries, but push themselves, get stuck in, but still do it in a safe manner.
100%. So someone just wrote in here, said no RPGs with tags. No, if you've got an RPG launcher that fires tags, you can use it. What you are not allowed is to shoulder launch mortar rounds. When we're talking about the mortar rounds, we are talking about the dual charge TLSFX mortar rounds. That's what I have the fucking issue with. The ones that explode at one end and then they shoot out the tube and then they go off at the other end. They come out of that tube with some serious velocity and they're also heavy. they're not like a tag round where I could
No.
sit in the same room as Richie and throw a tag round at him. It's not going to hurt him. If I, him or me, if you threw that TLS effects round at someone in a room, you'd fucking hurt them, let alone hit it when it's being propelled by an explosion. So yes, you can use them at the event, but they are a floor mounted mortar launch. They're not this shoulder mounted shit, because I just don't want someone hurt, essentially.
Yeah, for the TLS effects ones, they're more to the floor,
Yeah.
out and up. But if you've got an RPG tag launcher, absolutely, as long as it's a tag, like you say, it's a tag launcher, not the mortar tube, not the mortar round.
I see you hit Sam Wills in the chest with a tag round, so don't lie. I don't know who that's aimed at, if that's me or Richie, but I don't think I was actually there at that event.
There was many rumours going about.
It probably was Richie.
That someone had lost their shit because I had their breakfast thrown up, and poor old Sam Wills was having a cup of tea and his eggs Benedict on his op 4 patio, and the tag round went boom. But yeah, everyone said it was me, but it wasn't. I was the next building over. So,
are you sure? Would you swear if I had a Bible? Would you?
I mean,
anyway,
no photos, no evidence.
That's exactly true. While we're diving into these questions, I do want to bring Matt on. So just to set some scene here, me and Matt and Richie have been airsofting together for many, many years. He's definitely part of the squad. Go on, mate. Go on.
JJ always comes up with the best random shit. There's a Russian YouTuber who did a test of tag rounds on a raw chicken.
I will DM it to you later. Thank you. Well, that's my night sorted. Let's get Matt on because we know Richie, you're going to have to. But JJ, thank you so much for that. Well, that's what the Russians get up to. We shoot tags at each other, and one of them's like, "I will get a bottle of vodka and then a raw chicken, and we'll play." Right.
Mate.
Anyway, let's get Matt up in there, and so Matt can say hello. Matt, can you hear us all right?
Yeah,
yes, here he is.
Go on, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Absolutely gone on that. Hey.
Cheers.
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 So, well, I mean, that's a video that we all need to watch at some point, right?
And we probably need to, redo. I think
we should just
I'm sure there's worse shit we can do. Come on, let's face it.
Pork loin.
or a nice minted lamb shoulder.
Multi-pack of quavers.
Yeah, right.
JJ.
Yeah, right.
This is why someone said JJ wank material? Question mark.
I mean, it's pink on the inside, right?
And black on the outside after it's been hit with a tag round. Epic.
Yeah, but it's still warm and stinking of eggs.
Did they eat the chicken afterwards? Who knows? Only me who needs Richie on some higher volume. It might just be because he's sat a bit further away. She's not got headset in.
Okay.
So it might be a little bit quieter. Only me, long leg. Jack the volume up, Mr. Long Legs. Matt, you've been ousted.
Fuck.
Yeah, normally can't tell it's Matt because he's got black bars over his eyes.
Yeah, those bits don't exist, mate.
Yeah.
Prince Charming.
I love it that JJ's just like, not my proudest one, but it did work. Fucking brilliant.
Just thumb it out, mate. Just thumb it out.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah. So,
wait, can we get some reverb?
Oh, yes.
Can we get reverb on this? Is that any better?
It might dull it out. Dull it out.
Drop the bass, Matt. Drop the bass.
Dude.
Oh.
Chris Hughes is on as well. He's recognised Matt. Anyway, so just while you two are here, just so we can put some more bits in about the Ruckus event. So that's why we're doing it. We're doing an event. It's going to be down south. It's going to be a simple tear up. I know people have asked about Milsims, bigger events, and all that sort of stuff. At the moment, it's not what we're looking at, but this sort of day game is definitely something we're all focused on. Matt's going to be helping us out with it as well. And we'll be on the ground during the day just to make sure that everything flows well. In regards to pyro, some of the other questions that we've definitely been asked about. Mill smokes, yes. Any colour you like that's okay. We have been asked about drones and all that sort of thing. The only issue we have with drones there is the power lines. There's a lot of power lines near there, so it's at your own risk. I would prefer not to have anything like that there, to be completely honest, just in case.
You can only bring a drone, right, if you trail 150 meter steel cable from the bottom of it.
Yes!
You can use it, but you have to fly it like a kite.
It's like Dodgems, but in reverse.
Can we see if Sam Wills has got any more shamoolies?
Just in case we want the M25 post.
Busload of kids.
I'll do that.
Where'd that Shimooly go?
I'll have a go.
I'll never go. It's the...
Oh, shit. And at that point, we end it.
Sirens about 10 minutes later.
It's just when he went, but there isn't anything over that way anyway. Just the Eurostar and the M25
Yes!
and the M20. M20.
Oh, mate.
So things like that, yes, we will. You are allowed to use that on site. People have asked us about pyro and all that sort of thing in regards of demolitions and dems and controlled dems, that sort of shit. No, nothing above a Mark 5. But what that does include is a 12 gauge. So you can use 12 gauges in your blank grenades. That includes 12 gauge mag flash. That includes 10 mil, because I know there's some funky impacts that run on 10 mil. You've got 9 mil. You've got shotgun primers. You've also got your paper pyro. So any of your paper pyros you can use apart from Mark 9s. Absolutely no Mark 9s at all. So
Tim had a bad term with the Mark 9 once.
Mate, we all did. I think it rattled everyone on that back wall. It made everyone, because even I was with Jono, and Jono even said to me afterwards, he was like, mate, that absolutely spun me.
It was the fucking heat up the arms, mate. That was the worst bit.
Yeah.
Now I know what the kids in Hiroshima felt like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Is that too much?
It was a bit spicy. Okay, so
I haven't had a beer yet. Want to see me
loving the lighting with Rich. So any questions about that, obviously let us know. Anything more that you want to know in regards of shit you can bring, let us know. FPS limits is going to be 370 on your AEGs. If you do want to bring your snipers down, or you want to bring your DMRs down, message us about it first. Absolutely no HPA. So I know there's a lot of people, HPA Tyler, and a few the HPA guys have been asking about coming down. Do we do refills? Are we catering for HPA? Absolutely no HPA. So we're just out in it from the beginning. There's a lot of reasons to it. Richie, we've both spoke about tournament locks. Matt, we've spoke about HPA before.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like I say, I can't remember who it was who sent me that picture of the HPA with the bulb in the stock. It was a lovely conversion, mate. It's really nice. But again, like, it's not that we don't trust the person, but airsofters are just airsofters, mate. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. You can't. If there's an exception to the rule, then how do you put it across the board? How do you make it uniform?
Yeah, exactly. So, so HPA is a no-go for us. There will be some cool shit happening on the day. We will try and enjoy it as much as possible and just get out and have people sort of on the ground as much as they can be. Try and make up some of the round count that you've probably missed over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Anything else about the events? Any more questions about the Ruckus event? Tyler.
Yes, John, you do need to bring a packed lunch, mate. We, there won't be crumpets. Won't be crumpets and tea on site, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Shoot boards. I keep asking, but I like being annoying. Shoot boards. What do you mean by shoot? Do you mean are we going to have the shooters boards set up?
Yeah. Does it mean the static boards?
I don't think so.
It's not going to be conducive to the event. I don't think having a static area is, it's. That's just my thoughts on it.
Because we've been talking about doing another training event, so we'll probably just keep it for that, I think, mate.
Yeah, I mean, what I will probably do is...
I'll be right back. Food's here.
Oi, oi. Right, I'm going to remove Richie then until he comes back. So what we will probably do on the day is we will have some targets set up. And unlike some of the previous events we've done where we haven't told people the distances, we will let you know the distances of the targets and we will set them up so you can dial in hops and so on and so forth. We'll probably have that at the chrono area. But we won't have the shooters boards there. If you're interested in doing stuff with the shooters boards and the targets and so on and so forth, let us know and we'll start penciling in another basics day. I know a lot of people really fucking enjoyed it and there's a lot of people that missed out on it. So, we will do another one. The numbers will be quite low. Although there will be me, Richie and Matt there, we do like to keep the numbers low so it gives people a lot of time on the boards. So if you are interested, let me know. We'll try and do something. Winks, numbers. Good question. Really good question. And me and Matt have spoke about this a couple of times as to would we cap it? Where do we see the limits are? The good thing about the quarry, if you've ever been there before, is it is fucking massive. It's 220 acres, including the woodland. So we could hold a lot of people on there, a lot. It's just how well the games would run. I don't know where we would cap it. I don't know what the interest is. If we said 60 people, I think we would fill that fairly easily. Would we have 80, 40 aside? Probably. Any more than that, I don't know. Matt, what do you think?
I mean, for sort of this sort of setup that, this going to be laid out for the Ruckus event, I think more numbers won't really be a problem for the gameplay that's, in the background we're potentially laying out. Big numbers for, say, something a bit more tactical, maybe not, because you still need that space to have people be able to move freely and get on there with their taskings. But for Ruckus, I think big numbers are good and they will work, but I think there will have to be a limit dependent on how much interest we get with this. I think 80, I think, would be the cap. For me, would be the cap. I still think you have to have that space to work with. Yeah,
agreed. I mean, we had 80 plus or close to 100 people on the Milsim that we did, Matt, with Darkwater on that site. And we didn't use the forest at the back and we didn't use towards the hayfield. So I think you could definitely work it. I think for this, again, like Matt said, it just works well for the event that you've got big numbers. Obviously, honesty will be the biggest thing of doing an event of this scale. Fucking be honest. If you get hit, it's not going to hurt you to get your tourniquet on and get you, take a life. If you've got your tourniquet on, you get hit, bounce back to the regen. Either myself, Matt, or Richie will be at the regen, and then we will bounce you back out. But don't take the piss with hit taking. We've got a few things we'll do around hit taking if people take the piss. The main thing with taking the piss is Brooksy or one of the other big lads will just ask you to fucking leave. It's as simple as that.
I think that will hold true to the people that will be sort of given the opportunity to come to this event as well. If you're coming, you've paid the money, you're on the way there, that means that, THG has essentially said, right, this guy's going to be all right. He's not going to fuck around. So if you do turn up and you do start fucking around, that will put blood on your name, mate. It's with anything. If we get dickheads turn up, you won't come back. Simple.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, we've spoken about this already a few times. I'm just going to make sure Richie's good to go. Right, let's get Richie back in, and we can talk through this. But you know, we don't want to put it on a downer. We just want to say that the big thing for the event, Richie, we were just saying, is honesty and making sure that guys don't take the piss.
Yeah, mate, definitely. I think
that just replace Richie with Carol Baskin.
But it's what people don't realise, mate, and what people are soon starting to realise, it's a very small fucking community.
You
fuck up, take the piss, you're gone, and that goes for the community in general. I think, you know, if someone's being a dick, you very soon get found out.
Yeah, that definitely happens within this community. We've seen that with, you know, a few people recently that fucking piped up or acted like a cunt. And real quick,
Beefy,
you know,
Brad, they're all in the fucking sea.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, our events, we just won't expect it. But at the same time, you know, the caliber of people. If we took the 70, you know, 80 people that are watching right now and put you all on a site together, I think it would be really good fun. I think a lot of you guys are going to know each other, so because of that, there'll be a better level of honesty. But for you know, for us, we just want to make sure that people are there and they have some fun and get some rounds off. Lunchables and a fruit shoot for lunch.
Mate, stick that in your ration. Matt, do you remember at Catterick when I
Wait, before what are you going to say?
DIY ration pack. Do you remember me making Lunchables halfway through?
He was having cheese
I'm
and
sure
crack.
we had.
Me and Matt were on the back wall putting fucking rounds down.
I'm sure we had the conversation of, do you make them or do you just eat everything individually? Like the stack of ham in one or the stack of cheese in one.
You absolute heathen. What?
I just remember
the crackers, mate, they're gone. Fuck them. Just what I'm in it for the cheese and ham.
I just remember turning round. Me and Matt were putting rounds down on the back wall, I think, with Robson, and Richie's rolled himself a perfect.
yeah. Oh.
And he just sat munching on the wrap halfway through.
I'd partition everything: the salsa sauce, the cheese, the ham, everything, all everything individually, mate. I get 3 wraps per meal.
Boom, done. Chris, we'll have some static boards out for sure. We'll have some targets set up for people so people can dial in. Also, you know, we will have the guys from Camo Raids on hand at the event. We're still finalising some other people that will be coming down, but Camo Raids will be there. Any problems on the day, any issues, they'll be there to help. Any big issues, then, you know, they can take the gun away with them and get it fixed up for you. Do you think you'll get this day up before August? I don't know. We're literally waiting on this Corona lift to happen. What we've sort of agreed between us three is soon as, right?
Without being dirty boring, we will have to take precautions for people that are coming. Like, if you're coming just down the road, fine. But if you're unfortunately like Jamie, if you're in a place where you're riddled with it, then we might have to take a different approach, or at least put in some real hefty precautions to make sure it's all, you know, everyone's safe if this is still ongoing. Yeah,
agreed. And then for the people that are travelling down, you know, we spoke to some of the big teams that are a bit further to Scotland, closer to Scotland than we are, and they're willing to come down. So we need to work out whether Saturday would be better so that they could drive down and then, you know, stay over the night potentially and drive back on the Saturday so people can get to work Monday morning, or whether Sunday's going to be better. It's still in discussion, but we'll try and do what suits as many people as possible. How many invites going out, pal? How do I get an invite? We will put something out publicly, allow people to register interest, whatever. We'll see what the register for interest looks like, and then we'll put out a deposit, put your deposit down and go from there. If there's anyone that goes through that deposit process or the sign-up process we're not happy with, then we can fuck them off.
Yeah, I mean, Maxwell 96, Golden, mate. Just catch the fast train, bullet train straight from Wuhan.
Jake, if Brad turns up, can we kidnap him and use him as a live target? I think that would be an easy escape for Brad if he chose to turn up.
Yeah.
There's a few people that I would imagine want to get their hands on him at this point.
Rumour has it he's quit Airsoft.
I did see him selling all his shit, but that's apparently to fund his business that sells overpriced chest rigs and apparently Gen 3 night vision.
Gen 3 night vision.
Good luck with that.
Give yourself a headache now. Got whiplash.
I'll take his glasses off. Fucking hell.
No, don't. You look like Steven Spielberg.
Should be a
Wait,
movie, Stephen.
I don't touch kids, thank you.
80, 90 ideal, 80 to 100, mate. That's some big numbers for us to deal with if you're talking 80 to 100. Capri Suns all round, but you need to cut the corner off and drink them like a yogurt. Fuck that straw shit.
You need to punch a hole in the top and then punch a hole in the bottom and shotgun it.
Yes, now you're talking. Dave Manning, I love watching Richie eat. It's definitely not the first time that Manos watched you eat, Richie.
No, he's seen me eat some odd things as well.
Winks, I'd push Fem's shit in and kidney punch her just because. Thank you for sharing. Fem actually might make an appearance on the day. So I'm just saying. She may make an appearance on the day.
Just saying, our people spoke to her people, who spoke to our people, who spoke to their people, who spoke to his people. She may be coming down.
She may be there on
the
the day.
Rich is just saying, but I'm saying it looks like it smells.
It looks like it's going to happen.
Did someone say fish tacos?
Clean up on aisle 4.
Cream.
Rises to the top. Okay, traveling from Wuhan. Woohoo! I love whoever just wrote "Hello, Mott."
That's Bon Potter.
Yes,
Potter standard.
Where's Bon? Is Bon in here?
Bon's here, mate.
Bon Potter.
Oh, Bon
I
Potts.
fucking miss Bon so much.
I haven't seen him in a long ass time.
Funny, mate. There's genuinely, I have a pain in my chest every other day, only on a Tuesday.
Okay, he sells good spud guns. Right.
GF31.
I've got one for you of Mr. Potter. Oh, I miss him. I miss him so much.
Time since I've seen old Potter. We've got a lot of comments that are being blocked. So if you are on Facebook or you're on YouTube and you're swearing in your comments, it's getting blocked. But I digress. Price check on Vagiclean.
There's too much effing and jeopardy.
Yes, who put that?
Winks.
Yes, he knows. He knows.
He does know.
Oh, amazing.
But yes, so Scout and all the people that are asking DMRs and all that sort of thing, I did see the DM. We'll talk to you about it. We're not quite sure yet on how that's regulated. Have to make sure obviously it's locked to semi, and then me and Richie will have a chat about what FPS that is. But I can't imagine it being too high. So 400 maybe, and that's it. And you've got to be way back with the sniper kids.
Yeah. Back.
Yeah. Potter, Pete Curtis, what's up, mate? Sam Walker, how are you? Urban, you crashed my Instagram earlier, and it wouldn't even start. It just kept crashing over and over and over again because the shit you were sending me.
Did you know what bumper cart means? I believe it's an old wooden ship.
An old slow ship. Test fired new build from Camo. No words can describe. Amazing. Well, it's better
What
than
build was
fucking
it?
Up. It was the one that was done by RW, where they shoved the cable tie in the fucking pistol grip and then wound a like threaded screw in it. It was
one.
it was that one. So it's been rebuilt by Miguel at Camo Raids, and it's now a beast. But that's what happens when you buy from a cunt. Paid a lot of money for a gun and then paid a lot more money for it to be fixed. Bad times.
Now.
Oh wow.
Wow. Urban dropping my AK off Monday. Yee!
Nice one, Gary.
The Gucci gang. Will Matt be dressed in Patagucci or high vis? Definitely.
Mate, I've not got the money for that shit anymore. I've not got the money for it. I wish. I do wish.
He'll be in a high vis then.
He'll be wearing.
I'll be wearing Patagucci high vis.
No, he'll be wearing a set of Vans on his feet, right?
Oh fucking hell!
A pair of spliffy jeans, right?
No,
and a Chicago Bulls basketball shirt. There's three sizes too big for him.
Funny you should say that. It's my next.
I'd love to see that, and then I just want to see him in one of those Rasta hats with the fake dreads on. That would make it. Spliffy jeans, all the
you're
mate.
Jamaican Dave. How can that work?
That's very true. A spliffy onesie, amazing. WKD, good question. Me and Richie spoke about this. About people coming down the night before. I don't know yet. It really depends on what day it is and when we're going to open the gate and what the expected numbers are and where people are coming from.
Yeah, I think it really will. Yeah, like you say, like Tim says, I think it'll be more where people are coming from and will it be worth our while?
Yeah,
we 50 quid. I'll let you sleep.
It's a good shout. Two things there. We need to then be on site the day before. The security has to open up the site for us. So we have to go to the security offices and do all that bullshit for opening the site. So we'd have to think about how it's going to work. Fem, is that you?
Fuck off, mate. She wouldn't squeak.
To wet lettuce leaves. I don't know, but if you are interested in coming, if you get signed up and you get a spot on the event, let's talk about it. We'll try and sort something out. Obviously, we are going to do the event date with some time out in front. So if we do that, we'll sort something out. I don't know.
Yeah, it really is just it's not that we don't want to. It's just the logistics. Like Tim says, it's the security, it's the extra money we'll have to pay for an extra.
It's an extra
hire of the site, and do you know what I mean? It's more cost, more hours. So like we'd love guys to camp down the night before or even the night after, have a bit of social, but it's just logistics and cash.
Yeah, agreed. So Maswell 96, 50 quid for a 2x2 piece of gravel accommodation. Definitely a southerner. Yay! Pay to play, baby. Square sausages hurt, I've been told by my friend Winks. Was quite permission to get into the quarry. Do you know the owner? Well, sick. You guys have got your own space to fuck with. Yes, we do. Took a lot of fucking work.
A lot of
anything.
Work. And I've got to say hats off to Tim for this one because he done a lot of the legwork, running personally and emails and phone calls, etc. Making this thing work. And but yeah, man, it's awesome. It's so good to have just a bit of ground to literally do whatever we want with. Like we say, me and Tim have gone down there. We've rain tested guns.
Yeah.
We range tested your sniper rifle, my DMRs, all the short guns, all the sub guns. We've done some tag testing there. We've done some point to point as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
As well as all our own, obviously, like events. I know Brooksy, Rags lot, and Silk Jest, all those guys come down and use the majority of the site. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, they had a little bounce to one of the corners of the site, like the closest corner, but they didn't go to the furthest one because there's a big drop off. We're worried about people with their nods. So we covered a bit of it, but we'll sort something out, if guys are coming down. Where we are, there's a really nice B&B up the road, just at the top of the road from the quarry that me and Richie have eaten at before. It's fucking really nice. It's not going to be massively expensive and it's not super, super fancy, but it is fucking nice food-wise. So we can do that. Yeah, Sam, for you lot, mate, I think, in Dover, central Dover, there's so many places to stay. It's probably a 10, 15-minute drive. Temple Ewell towards Kernsney Abbey and that sort of way is nice. But yeah, Winks, if you're coming down, then we will sort something out to meet up and have a few beers either end of it. It'd be good to have a few drinks with Winks. In that sort of way, it's nice.
A few drinks. Winks will have about 26, and they'll all be superintendents as well.
26 before he gets out. Before he gets out of bed.
26 bottles of 3 litres worth of fucking white ace.
Mate, his alarm clock's a bottle of White Lightning. what the fuck's that? It's a fucking man.
Yeah,
I'm just messing, Winks. You know how I love you, mate.
Guys come down. Any more questions about the event before we roll on?
Or suggestions? What would you like to see? What would you like to see at the event? If you could, if you guys could demand anything from an event, what would you want? Bear in mind, this is a skirmish style event and not a Milsim, so try and keep it in that bracket.
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
People are going to turn around now and be like, "Yeah, I want to be infield with a fucking helo." Be like, "Yeah." Someone asked about the name. Where did the name come from? I thought that was quite a cool question. Richie, where did it come from?
Ruckus. From Cotton Eye Joe.
What? The name for the event?
Yeah.
Tim actually sent a load of images of and names over to me. What do you think of this, mate? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And I think my response to Tim's message about, should we call it Ruckus, was I may have it. I may have it. Bear with.
So you sent me I think you sent me the Busta Rhymes tune, didn't you? And then I put up the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah. Yes.
The Wu-Tang Clan Ruckus, which is a track by Wu-Tang Clan. But
yeah, so basically, long story short, it is anyone that knows that old school hip hop and rap, go to Busta Rhymes' first album, The Coming, and basically listen to the intro, and he talks about bringing the ruckus, and that's obviously I listened to that when I was just a wee little girl, and it's just stuck with me. Do you know what I mean? So I fucking, as soon as he came out with the word ruckus, I was like, yes, boy.
That's the one.
Mate. Yeah,
and also, like, me and Matt have spoke about sort of where we target this. Yeah, like, so where do we position this type of an event? And if you take like Milsim or simulation right at one end, and then you've got skirmish in the middle, Ruckus is like the next step back towards something primitive. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah, I'd have said so, because you go to a Sunday event and it is the title is skirmish, and that's what you're going there with like a preset image of what's going to happen. I think Ruckus is going to be although it's going to be one step back, it'll be completely different to what you're used to.
Yeah.
I think that's quite refreshing as well, because you've got skirmish on a Sunday, you've got Milsim on a weekend. You do need that little something different. And like you said at the beginning of the stream, it's just something for people to go and get their rocks off, And I think that's important at the moment as well. They've got the amount of kit that people have got at the moment, and going in the garage, fettling with it, fucking coming back in the house, getting frustrated. They've got nowhere to go and use it. This event is going to be the outlet for that. I don't think it matters what you sort of like label it as long as you don't come to the event with some sort of premeditated image that it's going to be a Milsim or it's going to be a skirmish. It's not. It's going to be completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Like you say, it's that step back. It's that bare bones. And I think we just we don't want to make it too complicated, because let's face it, after all this lockdown shit, we just want people to have fun and really sort of get back to basics.
Yeah.
So if you imagine like a set of horses at the starting block, that's how I imagine this event in my head. I'm like, right, fucking someone says go, that's it. People are off, they're fucking running, fucking hitting the fun button like twice, full auto, nothing else. You know what I mean? Dual wielded tags, LMGs, fucking kicking bombs there, fucking good up, doggy, good. Do you know what I mean? I want it like the Wild West. That's what I want it like.
Yeah. I think when me and Richie first split what we're talking about, right? Well, what can we do to get everyone with their kit out? Me and him just said this image of like, I want to be able to in the morning go through fucking 100 tag rounds. Like, I want to go to an event where I could do that. I can just sit and lick off every bit of kit that I've got without any fucking worry that a marshal's going to come over and tap you on the shoulder, or
slow your rate of fire down, mate. Slow your rate of fire down,
on, mate. Yeah, slow down. Or we make it so objective based that people are not going to be able to get fucking go crazy. If you imagine the old 80s Royal Rumble when everyone was in the ring at the beginning, that's what this should be like. It should be a proper tear up. And I think this is what's going to, like Matt said, make what Ruckus does so independent and so different.
Winks.
See you later, Winks. We love you.
Take it easy, mate.
Right. So let's go through. Second bottle of vino. Go on, Jamie.
Go on, lad.
He's not messing about. A Viking raid with pew-pews.
Yes, mate.
Yeah,
boy.
So something for people to get their teeth stuck into. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah. But I didn't see many questions. So, guys, if you got any suggestions or what would you like to see at an event, I didn't see any sort of suggestions come in. Not saying for our event. Just if someone said to you, "We're going to put on an event," what would you like? What would be your ultimate sort of game?
Right, and while they're putting them in, Richie, we had a question on Instagram that said, and this is rough, right? And Matt, I want you, could you chip in on this as well, mate? I've got $2,000. I want to get knobs. What do I do?
$2,000.
$2,000.
Talk to me.
$2,000.
Fuck.
I know this guy, beautiful guy.
Beautiful.
Where do you go? Well, where?
We
Gen 3. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Gen 3. Yeah, all right. Gen 3. $2,000. The thing is, I went around the circuit when I first started doing the Sterlings, and it was back. I need night vision. I don't want to spend too much money. So me and you, Tim, we went out and bought Armour Sight Spark cores, I think they were.
Yeah.
At the time, and it was, they were fully legal in the UK because they came through Optics Planet, and it was like the gateway into night vision, I guess. We got them, and as far as we were concerned, they were fucking mustard because we were used to just naked eye, white light shit, walking up the roads in Wales, moonlit. You could see it most things anyway. And then the littlest bit of night vision we had, golden. And then you sort of look at, people around you got the Gen 3 stuff, Gen 2 stuff. You look through it and think, fuck, what have I done? I've just spunked 500 quid on a Spark core when I could have maybe waited a couple more months and bought something like, what was it, the Cobra Demons? $2 grand. Tim's man spread in.
I'm airing the vagina.
Let me see it.
He was so white. He was
Where?
Honestly, I've been practicing like Harry Krishna.
I can smell that from here.
Here, Matt, do that. Go on, do that. See, when someone does that and they don't immediately put their hands like that inside it, you know you're too young. That's all.
You got to open it a bit, Richie. Open it a bit. I want to see all the way through.
Okay, hang on. All right, ready?
God, open a bit. I want to see. You're up. I'm trying to line this up with the camera is impossible.
I feel like I'm getting fucking gangbanged here.
Is this what a kid looks like when he's being born?
Yeah.
Just see some doctor looking up his chav. Hello. Hello.
Sorry, boys.
Oh.
Right. No. Sorry. No, I know what you mean, Matt, because obviously Matt was forever chasing the dual dream. Like I remember Matt seeing his first picture of 31s. I was like, fucking, I need something. Obviously not that because they're like 30 grand, but something like that. That's what I want. And I remember when you finally took the jump from, because how long did you have the Cobra Demon for?
Well, no, I had Spark. I had a Spark core, and then I bought another Spark core, and had dual Spark cores, which was yeah. And then it was about a year before I jumped to the Cobra Demon, and got one, and I was like, "Fuck, I need 2 of these." Like hands down, I need 2 of these, because when I looked through someone's dual night vision, my eyes work better with 2. I can't get on with a monocular.
Yeah.
And people going, yeah, get Gen 3 monocular, and I was thinking, well, for the same price, yeah, all right, I'm taking a knock on the generation, but I can get a Gen 2 Plus, crystal clear optic, bridged for the same price as one Gen 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it just depends on it.
It's personal preference as well,
See, I obviously, I was a poor back in the day. I had a PVS 7. A lot of people knock them, but I actually really like them because, like you, Matt, I really struggle with one. To try and run with one. People have given me. I remember Tim first giving me his 14 and going, "What do you reckon on that?" Because he was super hyped about his tube, and literally, mate, I couldn't. He was going, "Look, that tree there, that tree there." I was like, "I can't see nothing, mate."
Yeah.
Like my eye will not focus any further forward than the lens here, because it can't compute, just can't. So I remember I had the PVS 7s. Yeah, they were Russian Gen 3, so the crisp was the tube was crisp and lovely. It was nice. But again, you've got 2 eyepieces, so you're kind of you get that middle ground. But the minute someone sees that shape, that outline of a PVS 7, it just induces vomiting. Do you know what I mean? Ooh, like PVS 7s were like the 2017 version of COVID-19. Oh, I can hear him. He's got the 7s.
But I think it's hard as well because it is like Jamie's just said. It's also, of course, it's personal preference, mono, dual, and do you sacrifice Gen 3 over Gen 2 to go dual, or do you go Gen 3 mono just to have that the better tube in there? And I think nowadays the market it's so easy to get hold of night vision now, like legit stuff for a good second-hand price, because there's not a lot of games going on at the moment.
Yeah. JJ just cracked me up. Buy a dummy MVG from AliExpress and change the real one in the armory for it. Amazing. Another good question from Copperhead Airsoft: would you run sionyx as an NV?
I've been asked that a couple of times now as well, and after spending a bit of time with it, I'm like, I would be really close to it. I mean, I need to spend some more time with it mounted in front of my eye to give a proper opinion. But I tell you what, if you said to me, have an Armour Sight Spark Core or the sionyx Aurora Sport, which they're the same price, I would have the Aurora Sport personally. Would I have the sionyx over a Cobra Demon? No, I'd have the Cobra Demon. But I get on with mono. So
I think this is where I think, Tim, you just put it perfectly, mate. In the fact that I've been asked a lot of questions like, you know, is it as good as MV? What's it compared to Gen 1? Is it a Gen 2, Gen 2 Plus? Like, you can't. It's very difficult to compare it to an actual like night vision unit because so it comes down to budget. What do you want to spend? So if you're looking at spending, how much are the Cobra Demons, mate? 7, 8?
They were 13. I'm sure they're 1.6 now, aren't they, Timo?
Yeah, they've gone up.
1,600 now.
Quid. Yeah, they were.
What is that? Gen 2?
Gen 2 Plus.
Yeah, Gen 2 Plus.
Yeah. So in that case, so 1,600 quid. So if you're looking at spending £1,600 or £400, like I would, or even how much is this Sionyx Pro?
I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking of.
800-900. So perhaps not the Sport, but let's face it, if you want an introduction into night vision, right? You're bare bones, you've never touched night vision before, you don't know what it's all about. I would say buy a Sionyx, buy a head mount, like literally go bananas, because I think you can change from full color to grayscale, and I think to green as well, monochrome green.
Yeah.
And yes, it's about as effective as a Gen 1 in the fact that you need a shed ton of ambient light or a good IR torch for it to work properly and efficiently. Do you get a little bit of lag because it's digital? Yes, you do. But you know what? Like for £400, I'll take that. You know, I'll buy that for $1.
I'll buy that. I mean, you know, this is the thing that we always get asked is if you had £2,000, right? So you've got £2,000 and you want to buy night vision, you need to look beyond just your night vision unit. And me, Richie and Matt have all been down this route quite a few times where someone says, I've got £2,000 to spend. I've seen a unit for 1,800 quid. Shall I buy it? And I'm like, what other shit have you got for your night vision? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, well, it's all good having a fucking unit. Does it come with an arm? Do you have a mount? Will it fit the shroud on your dummy helmet? Do you trust your dummy helmet enough? Is your dummy helmet comfortable enough? Do you have a counterweight pouch and shit for your counterweight? And then you need a device to be able to be, you know, to be able to aim with your fucking night vision. You know, we've worked it out. I think me and Richie said roughly you want 400 quid on top of what you're going to spend on your nods. So then you're down to 1,600 quid out of your £2,000. And for 1,600 quid, you're limited. Yes, you could buy you're going to get a Gen 2 Plus like a Cobra Demon or something like that. You might be able to get one second hand for about £1,000, 900 quid. But you are limited as to what you can get. Back in the day, when I first started, you could pick up PVS 14s for 1,600, £2,000.
Yep.
Roughly. And, you know, I used to, you know, fucking used to scare me shitless. The thought of spending £2,000 on night vision back then. Now, and I think I was talking to Chewy about this earlier, and we were saying about how just PVS 14s have gone through the fucking roof in price, you know, going 2.6. And me and Richie were talking about it, you know, £2,500, £3,000. I screenshotted it and sent it to Richie, a MUM with a tube similar to mine in it. And that was up for 3.2, wasn't it? Richie, I sent it to you, didn't it? It was over £3,000.
Domestic unit as well. That's a domestic unit.
Not the MUM GT14.
Oh, yeah. 14. Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, GT14, same as mine. Yeah, £3,000 with a similar tubing. And so
it's tough, isn't it? Because I think you know it's horses for courses, and I think it's Dan 22 made a good thing. Like, where is it? Sorry, mate. About buying secondhand or
oh yeah, I got it. Do you advocate buying brand new or secondhand on a budget? I'll let everyone answer this individually because we might have different views here.
I mean, me personally, I would say if you're in the budget market, I'm talking sub 1,500 quid. You could buy brand new, like buy a sionyx. Really, yeah, anything other than a sionyx in the sub 1,500 or sub £1,000 mark, it's not worth having.
No.
Just don't. Like, that's the only time, because we've always said, haven't we, Tim? Like, you know, if you've got less than £1,000 to spend on night vision, don't.
Yeah.
The only time I'd say do is if you're absolutely brand new to night vision and you really want to see what it's all about, then buy the sionyx for like 400 quid. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's dipping the ocean. But likewise, if you're going above that, like the Cobra Demon, 1,600 quid, or PVS 14s, whatever, anything up to sort of 3, 4, 5 grand, definitely second hand, because the unit itself is, you know, you look through it. Is the tube scarred? Does it have blems? Yes, no, tick the box. Do you know what I mean? It's not rocket science. Is it fucked? Yeah. It's like looking into a black hole. It's nothing. Obviously the hours on the tube is detrimental, but the mean time to failure on that unit is so big. Do you know what I mean? Like, you would never cover the hours in a civilian lifetime, but yeah.
I mean, it's a good point. Just before Matt, you go through yours, I just want to say, like, there are 14s that you can get from GSCI in Canada, and that's what Steve got, and he got it with a Gen 3 tubing, but it cost him $7,000. So, and we're not talking harder spec tubes. We're talking an 1,800, 16 to 1,800 watt. It's a lot of dough. Matt, what's your thoughts on the second-hand market with nods?
Yeah, again, mate, it's what you want out of the unit. You know, when I bought mine brand new, I was in the market for something that I could buy from a shop, had warranty. If it fucking went wrong, I could source the parts for it. You know, and I knew that when it was coming, there was a spec sheet with it, and that's what I'd be getting. I've seen so many times people have bought second-hand 14 for fucking 1,900, $2,000. And the seller said, yeah, it's fucking brilliant, mate. There's like a tiny, tiny little blem in the corner. And it's turned up and it's like fucking, you know, someone's got the black plague. There's balls all over it. You can't fucking see through the gun. And you've just paid $2,000 for that. And what are you going to fucking do? Go to someone and go, I've just bought an illegal unit for $2,000. It don't work. Yeah. You ain't got a fucking leg to stand on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's what you want. You get a Gen 3 second hand, maybe a little bit moody, but it's what you want out of it. You know.
I think this is the thing, mate. You know, like I say, I think it was someone we know. Obviously, he won't say any names, but someone had a set of Anvis and they took them apart. Obviously, bought them second hand, run them for ages, took them apart, and mate, the tubes were held in with a bit like sticky tape. Like, they were held in place by a bit of sticky tape, and literally he was like, "Oh fuck!" Do you know what I mean? I think he was changing the tubes or the glass at the time, but it just goes to show you don't know what you're buying second hand, but you do get good value for. You know, you're not going to pay it as much.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people talking about ACT and the ACT setups. Me and Richie, you know, sort of crossed paths with ACT a few times. I don't know what what.
Jamie Britt, Omni 7 PVS in Italy, costing about €3,500. What?
Money?
No, he's got the decimal place in the wrong bit, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Carry the one.
He paid with a single coin. Hello, sir. Keep the change.
Bitcoin.
Dan 22. Personally, if I brought my MV brand new, I'd not be able to afford the setup I have. Yeah, agreed. You also wouldn't be able to get that setup you have if you bought it brand new, because you probably wouldn't be able to get the bits for it. Acting Black sell hard gen PVS 14 for €9,000. They put that no 1,800 FOM tubes for £7,000. Did he buy off NTAC? No, they wouldn't have worked. They'd be fucked. They'd open him up and there'd be a candle in there. Acting Black 2,100 FOM, sting you for £9,000. Yeah, fucking. I know a few. Look, so my views on the second-hand market: if you trust someone to get something for you and you really trust them, then the second-hand market can be great. At the same time, in the last 6 months, I know 2 people that have bought from NV specialists that are either in Germany or Switzerland and whatever. Richie knows the person as well. And they got promised this epic set of fucking jewels, and they turned up and they were fucking shit. You know, they were 3 or 4 grades lower on the Omni than they said they were. And they were meant to be auto-gated and all that sort of shit, and they weren't.
And the
And then someone else.
The mount was completely fucked.
Oh yeah, and the back end of the mount had been milled out and just had a screw put through it, bolt and screw. Yeah, like that. So that was shit, right?
Fuck.
Like really turned over on them. And then another friend of mine bought what was a PVS 15, I think, with the mount and the arm. And when he got it all through, it didn't work. So, you know, you have to be super fucking careful with the MV market, especially the black market. And in certain circumstances, there is all the right for you to be on MOD property and potentially for someone to walk around, take the unit off your lid, and you don't really have much of a leg to stand on. I've never seen it happen, but I've definitely fucking heard about the application that it can. So if you are buying black market, be fucking careful. I agree with Richie with the sionyx. You know, if you've got less than £1,000 to spend, have a look at the 3 versions of sionyx. There is some massive benefits to the sionyx that enable it to be better than night vision, and it's cooler. You can record straight away. You can stream to your phone. It will log your GPS position, and you can actually have it on the screen. And it will also give you a little heads up display of your location and your compass bearing. So that's a really actually cool shit to have if you've got not compass. Hey, Kent. So that all that shit's really fucking handy and quite cool. Also, it's very difficult to damage the sensor. So Richie, in some footage that we've got going up on Monday, throws a flashbang into a container, and I'm filming it directly with the camera, and it auto gates so quick. And it can still record everything in 720p. So there's some really cool shit about the sionyx. If you're on a budget, they're fucking cool. And Richie's got video spraying one up. So, you know, you can speak to Ross Coatings about the erosion cam. It looks fucking awesome.
And those guys that worry about running singles or duals, obviously you can get dual mounts for the sionyx. So, if you're feeling flush, you can run 2 of them. But likewise, you know, obviously, so I was just going to throw 2 pence worth in, mate. And with Fleur no longer selling to the civilian market, like i.e. the BDMVGs, me personally, I think there's a massive gap in the market now for Gen 2, Gen 2 Plus. So I think the costs of second-hand units for both Gen 2 Plus and especially Gen 3s are going to go up, I think.
Yeah.
Which you know, it may open the market for guys going to sort of the sionyx and sort of that sort of way, but I don't. Anyone who knows anything about night vision will know you can't compare the sionyx to a night vision unit. It's a different kettle of fish altogether.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Pro yet, and it has got a faster response rate, so there'll be less lag when you're turning your head. And even then, the lag is not massive. It's like any thermal. If you've ever looked through thermal and moved your head around, there's just that little bit of frame rate drag, but it's
Did
not.
Did you see the footage put up by sionyx? They had a side-by-side of the Pro and the Sport. So Pro, Sport, and iPhone out on some lake somewhere near some bridge or something.
Yeah.
Mate, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. The sensor on the Pro is incredible. It just captures so much more ambient light. Obviously, iPhone, you can't really see dick. The Sport, you can make out some things. You can make out objects, and that's a bridge, that's a boat, that's a boy in the distance. But it's a very grainy image. Whereas the Pro is like no noise, not grainy, clear. Yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice. Check it out.
Yeah. So if you are looking for that, guys, obviously we've dived a little bit deep into NV. Definitely check out the sionyx, and I think they're only going to get better. They're only going to get better. For night vision, a lot of guys, duals are cool. All the cool kids have duals. It really depends what you get on with. If I could get another tube like my one, I'd probably run it myself. But at this point, it's too difficult to get hold of. And I've always run my mono. I've never had issues with it. It's done me so much justice. I've spent so much time under it now. Yeah. I know the second market don't trust anyone. Yeah. I think Pete, to be fair, mate, you've had your fingers burnt with your gun, so I don't blame you.
What's your thoughts on thermal scopes?
As in a rifle scope? As in like a mounted top one, or like one of these ones that you can hand? I think they're fucking good. I've seen two people run them. One of them, Mike Marden, Predator, when we used to all run together back in the day, and he was fucking super successful with it. He had it dialed to 30 meters, used to sneak around, no backlight, no real worries of the nods. Or if you're fairly static, mate, I think it's they're almost untouchable.
Mate, I remember going up against Mike Marden. Obviously, I'd not long got my Ambis, and he had his thermal scope, mate, and we were having a tit for tat up at Apocalypse. Every time, mate, doesn't matter what, because you can only see so far with projected light, whether that's ambient or IR projected. You can only see so far. Thermal don't give a shit, mate. Thermal will see through, will see past anything. Do you know what I mean? As long as you've got a clear line of sight to that hot object, mate. It's bodied me many a time with that thermal scope. So as much as it grips me, I think they're a fucking good idea. It's like Airsoft with the cheats on. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, that's an expensive buy-in if you want to get something decent. The pulsars, again, you can record with them, Wi-Fi, GPS, that sort of thing. Downside, they are mounted to the weapon and they are clunky and they go through a battery real quick. So he had the extended battery pack on his, and he bought a few spare batteries for it. They go through batteries like fucking lightning. But they are really good. Thermal's great.
Sorry, Rich, was that the same night that you did your disappearing trick up at Apocalypse?
Which one? Take your pick, mate. I've done it a few times.
One of the two.
One of the two.
Where's Richie gone?
I thought Richie was on point, and he's like that.
Like a game of Mario.
How the fuck you didn't seriously hurt yourself though? Because when you went to me, I fell in a hole. I thought you fell in like a hole. When I walked past it, I was like, "Fucking hell, bro!" It's like...
Do you know what hurt the most, mate? Where I literally stepped forward and just there was nothing there. Just went and straight down, mate. Obviously, you don't know when you're going to hit the floor, so my legs just sort of went out. Do you know what hurt the most? My legs have folded, like my knees have come up into my chest. What was I wearing? I think I was wearing it might be my Ferro or my Haley Heavy. But basically, either way,
it might have been your own Bav.
I remember 2 7.62 mags, mate, just going, just punching me in the chest, mate, like this. Go, I need some O2. Mate, it just hit the bottom like, that fucking hurt, man. That hurt. Shit. Yeah, that was such.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was, mate? And I'm such the biggest. I bat on about this so much about what do they call it? It's fucking hell. I can't remember the word for it now. But basically, it's you focus too much on the target itself. So when you're coming up to a doorway, or whatever it may be. Like for me, it was a guy tucked around a corner, and he had a little light on his head somewhere, and I was so busy, like just focused hard on this target, that your peripheral vision narrows. Your body just does it. It narrows in on this target because you're using all your senses in the pitch black to focus on this one thing. And yeah, I was so focused on this one guy, I did not see a fucking 6-foot ditch like here, like just there. Mate.
I thought Richie was on point. Completely gone.
Just literally was there. He is.
All in the magic.
Shazam! It's all in the magic.
Shazam.
Yeah, mate. Funny.
Someone's asking about the Fleur breach. Yeah, me and Richie have both had a bit of a play with the Fleur breach. I personally don't understand how it can sit in front of your eye for long periods of time. Even with the screen tone, I found it really bright, and the actual, eye hole at the back is so small.
My eye holes.
My eye holes.
These are my eye holes.
He'll come and kick the shit out of you. Yeah, I don't know how you could spend a long period of time behind a breach. Maybe for turning it on and off, but to actually nav with and all that sort of shit, I don't think you could use it independently. I actually thought about getting one to run alongside my night vision on a dual mount, but it's just how much I would fucking use it.
I mean, we used one at Coco, didn't we, Tim?
Yeah.
And when you've got it up inside, when you got it up inside you, when you got it up in front of you, and we were looking at some guys moving around the side of this building. When you got the target in front of you and you're putting rounds down, it's awesome, mate, because it's so clear and crisp, and all the outlines are really crisp because of the thermal imaging. That it's great, but when you're bodying, mate, you can just it's so clear. The image is so clear, but like you said, like the minute we was in that little pillbox, do you remember?
Yeah.
And the minute you took it away from your eye, you're like, I can't see dick. I can't see nothing because it's so bright to like so dark.
Yeah.
So,
listen,
yeah.
Matt's gonna quickly bounce. So Matt, thanks for coming to join us for a bit. Really appreciate it, dude. And we'll let you bounce. We'll bounce with some of the questions, but appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, it's been good. I hope to get back on soon, mate.
Nice one. Cheers, buddy.
Peace.
Take care, mate. Bye. Richie, so yeah, you're right. I mean, this is the other thing with night vision, and people become really accustomed with jewels to flipping their jewels up and then just having that momentary bit of time for their eyes to readjust after sitting behind the lenses, depending on how far you have them sat in front of your eyes. Richie has his nod sat quite far forward, so he's still got this kind of peripheral view around his mags and his hands and all this sort of thing. And that works really well. I've seen a lot of guys, especially with the Fleurs, because the eyepieces are so small on the back, they've got them bumped right up against their eyes. So when they've got them almost shielded all the time, when they flip the nods up, there's this like, oh, fucking hell, like, almost back to normal. And that's the benefit that I really like about the mono. Me and Richie have discussed this lots, and there is no real right and wrong between the two.
No,
mono's not as cool, definitely not, and it's not more versatile by any means. But there is definitely a few little pros in there that do help with it. If you don't feel like you've got to get jewels.
Yeah, definitely. I think like you say, mate, there's pros and cons, because I've seen guys patrol and engage and use a mono for extended periods of time. Likewise, I've seen guys who've put a mono on, like bought it, like spent dough, mate, a lot of dough on a mono, and run it for 2 games with no, fucking don't like it, gives me a headache, and just sold it. So it really that's one of those things that you just have to find out for yourself. There's no rule book to that. You can't look up some YouTube video and go, should I buy a mono tube or a dual? It's just something you need to try out for yourself, really.
Yeah. And I can say from running both now, luckily, the mono definitely gave me a headache to start with, for sure. And it took a long time for my eyes to get used to flipping my nods down, putting my nods on, and then just scampering off into the distance. That's not something that comes after, say, 5 hours under nods. It comes with about 25, 30 hours under nods that you could just flick your nods down. Your brain knows what's happening and you just scamper off. But you do become accustomed to it. Some people just can't do it. I found with nods that I was constantly like wanting to flick one up and just see what the fuck was going on. I just didn't sit well with me.
I mean, I've been caught out once. I mean, that's kind of why I like running mine so far away from my eye. Because I can just do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which I've seen you do before. Yeah.
And I've still got a fair bit of gap, but I can still see what I'm doing. But like you said, Tim, I've got this much. I'm going to say this much peripheral vision down here.
Yeah.
To see what I'm doing, and I've done it before, mate. When it's been sort of fairly ambient, good ambient light, so I can sort of see. Sometimes, and I tried to say this to the rag boys when we had our NV event. Just because it's mainly dark doesn't mean you have to use your night vision. Sometimes the moon or the stars or your ambient light will show up shadows and lines better than your NV, because your NV won't give you depth, especially when patrolling. So yeah, it's handy for that. But likewise, I think Mike Amos was at the Copill game we were at, and he said like he saw me, and I think it must have been you, because I didn't roll with you, coming out, and he saw like 2 sets of like green going across that at the front gate and across to the left hand side. And I was like, yeah, probably. He's like, why don't you get the rubber eye cuffs? I was like, I can't stand the gash. It makes me feel like a pervert, that rubber so close to my skin. You know what I mean?
I think I always find as well is when you flick the nods up, you've got that in your peripheral vision. Like for me, do you know what I mean? So if I flick the night vision up, that rubber still sticks down. And also it's such a dull light at the majority of the times, and front on you don't really see it. But so listen, I know we've sort of gone through the MV mill a fair bit. If there is more questions, obviously let us know. But $2,000, you're going to pick something up with the things like sionyx coming out. I would highly consider one. Don't write one off.
Yeah. If $2,000 your budget, definitely look at the Pro when it comes out, not the Sport, because obviously that is a very, very budget unit. Maybe look at the Pro, but yeah, like Tim says, don't write it off. Check out, go to sionyx on Instagram. They're always posting stuff, so just check out what they've got, the sort of footage there is, and just do some research.
Micro thermals, handheld thermals. I'll cover them all off real quick, Anthony. Me and Richie was sent a couple of thermals to try out back in the day. Micro rail mounted thermal, which I think is the T10M that you're talking about. I didn't like it. It was super bright, so it backlit absolutely everything, and you could see it from quite a way away. And also, if there's more than one body together, and also because the screen's so small, it's really hard to judge distance. You'll see like the outline of a figure, but there's no reference point of how far that actually is away, because it's got like a fisheye lens on it.
Yeah. What Tim means is it's absolutely shit. Basically, we look through it, and unless you're 20 meters away, 15, 20 meters away, it doesn't mean shit. It's just an outline. It's an outline, and sub 20 meters, fine. Sorry, sub 30 meters, you're fine. It's an outline of a person, blah blah blah, but you still don't have a reference point. So is it good for just going, there's someone there, fine, but other than that, no, mate, it's save your time, boy.
I totally agreed. I think also people write off a decent torch way too quickly. And I'm telling you now that I've been ousted by some lads that use white light well, even with my nods. I've seen lots of other teams ousted with their nods by someone who's got an LMG and a fucking 600 lumen legit Surefire and is laid in a hedge. We were assaulting a building, me and Richie, and the first team got out of their vehicles. Remember, we'd done that chems lab the first time. They got out of that thing. That lad was laid in the bush with the fucking LMG with the big torch on it. Just went lit the vehicle, front of the vehicle up with his torch. All his lads did, he busted, and he went, bah! Manol,
Yeah.
if Manol is still in it, Manning, then pipe up, because he was there. He was actually shouting at players that were getting licked up and not calling the hits by that guy.
Smashed in the back and just not taking it.
Yeah, and that's
On
essentially
our
what happened on our team. Yeah, so don't write white light off, and it's easy to move around with. Your eyes do adapt really well in the night. Yes, when you just have standard sort of eyes and you fucking put Gem 3 on, it is a big difference, but it's not. It's not a complete rule breaker. It's really not. And also, you need to get used to using it. You need to dial your kit in. You need to spend time with it. You need to get comfortable. I know, 8 out of 10 people that run nods for the first maybe 10 times get a headache. Their fucking lid's unbalanced. It wobbles around on their head, which means your lid's bent down. It's putting loads of pressure across your brow. I know many people that
more
have
importantly,
been out for an
guys
hour.
who run MV for the first 10 times normally get fucking bodied, mate, because they think it has this invisibility cloak over them. They go, well, it's dark, they can't see me. You just lose all track of ambient light.
Yeah, agreed.
That's what I found.
Yeah, me too. We've seen teams do it, right? I mean, me and you've been out on the ground, being a bit sneaky.
I've cut through somewhere. I thought, yes, fucking. I mean, you're too busy focused on the targets of what you're doing than what the ambient light is like around you. And next thing you know, someone's pulled. You've shone a bit of a not a reflection, but shone a bit of a silhouette or a shadow somewhere. And mate, someone's drilled me. Backcountry brought up a good point. Rifle sights, and I think it's a good point, because I've had a ton of questions about what is the best sight to run. Obviously, me and you had a bit of a discussion the other week, didn't we?
Yeah.
About what is the best? The best way I can describe it is what role do you want to play, and what suits you best. Obviously, I'll let Tim go with the sort of what's your preferred method.
Yeah,
what do you prefer to run?
It's taken me a little while. I mean, I've run a few different, red dot optics and whatever, but I must say, and people are just going to fucking jump all over me for being, a bit of a vortex whore, but the Razor is by far the best optic that I've used, and there's two reasons for that are very specific to the Razor. The Razor can be dialed down to a 1x magnification and is so clear as an optic, like the way that the glass is sort of almost domed, that you just do not see the outside line of or the perimeter edge of it, and you can use it as a red dot. And this is why you see so many of the high speed mill guys now using them, because you can dial them up, but at the same time, if you need to go real close, you can wind it right down and it will work incredibly well as like a red dot optic. I like having a little bit of zoom. I like just 2.5, 0.3 times zoom for me is just epic. It just brings you, or your kind of focus plane, a little step closer to the person. So for me, that really, really works. I've never got on with the flick to side zooms, but admittedly, I'd only used clones. I've only used like shitty EOTech clones. So when you've got a cheap, poor clone 3 times and you've got a cheap, poor fucking EOTech, you can't expect to have a great experience out of it. I would like to try the Vortex setup, a bit like what Richie's got. But at the moment, I am super happy with the Razor.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, we had this conversation of, literally just the other week about what, because I was getting a few questions about scopes and red dots and, what should I choose and this and that. And obviously, I know Tim swears by the Razor, and we, I think it was Bentley from Vortex showed us the Razor out in Nuremberg a few years back.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. He literally dialed it down, like Tim said. He got the focus right in, dialed it to 1 time, he held it up, and literally.
So
that's it, mate. That
is probably, you know, even then you could probably
even
lose.
that doesn't do it justice, mate. Like,
No,
if you so that outside ring is so much thinner when you're looking at it with a naked eye and you're focusing, like Tim says, at that faraway plane. That ring is so small. So, as much as I'm not a fan of zoomed optics, I can definitely see how that could work. Definitely. But like I say, for me personally, mate, I mean, I've had clone optics many years, and I'll be honest with you, this is got to be my best setup so far. Obviously the Razor, the UH1. Now this is obviously I got this because it's different, mate. It's different from any other red dot that I've seen. I just something about the shape that I quite like. A lot of people ask me, is this NV compatible? Technically, no. But have I used this as an NV red dot? Yes. I've dialed this down to its lowest settings and still used it under NV, and it works an absolute dream.
So the other good thing about that Huey as well, Richie, is that a lot of red dots, you can see them from the front because they are a projected image, whereas this, the Huey, is designed specifically to not have any signature from the front, so you don't see anything from the front.
So you can see the red dot there.
So bright, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Nothing. So a lot, like Tim says, a lot of the
even the real still ones do, right?
Or, yeah, like a lot of the EOTechs, the early ones, the holograms are projected via a prism, so you will see something out of this front lens. That's why a lot of guys get licked up at night time, because they forget that you can see this. They're pieing a corner super slowly. Someone sees that, whack. You know, whereas obviously this is a laser, so you're technically projecting a laser image. Now, the reason why I love the red dot and the flip to side, obviously this is the original VMX 3T, so 3 times flip to side. So this is a slightly larger one. They have a new one out now, which is basically stops about there. It's literally half the size. What I like about this is, and I was saying this to Tim the other day, oh god, this gun's so long, is that I used to obviously run it as a magnified optic. So 90% of the time I would run it like this, off to the side. So you have your red dot for, you know, running and gunning, whatever you're doing with your door kicking, whatever, you know, patrolling. But sometimes if you just need to spot a target that's a bit far away, you know, this is obviously off to one side. So I would just literally tilt the gun, and there you have a spotting scope as well. No reticle, but you don't really need a reticle because you're just spotting targets. And likewise, with it off to one side, you've got no obstruction. I mean, you can't really, all you have is the reticle, but obviously you have your adjusting screws to adjust the, to get the crosshair in the middle of the 3 times. But yeah, I mean, this is, I've run this setup for, Christ, what, nearly 2-3 years now?
Yeah, we need 2, I think. I don't think we
2 years. 2 years.
You picked it up at the patrol base, platoon store event. So I'm just trying to think when that was. There's a video for that. 2 years, maybe.
Must be 2 years. Must be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just like the fact that you have the option. You can have a zoomed optic or not a zoomed optic. Do you know what I mean? I can come down to, like, you know, just standard 0 times magnification if I need to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
again,
sorry, mate.
Yeah, it really is just horses of courses, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this is another thing, right? It takes a bit of time to find the right preference for you, where you feel comfortable, try different things out. It really is about experimentation. I just want to go through some of the questions. So Rageophile, the resident doctor, low power variable optics are really good. One gives the best of both worlds, red dot and zoom. Totally agree. Running real steel EOTech with flip to side, and it runs perfectly. To be honest, I rarely use the magnification though. I get it, and you know, whether that is just there for those 1 out of 10 moments, it's good to have it on there, for sure. But when we're talking about real estate as well, there's a very similar signature with the real estate, unless you're looking at the new Vortex, where obviously it's been cut right down. My problem with low powerable variable optics is the low light situations. It's quite hard to see the reticle. I totally agree. And the place where that becomes, where the Razor is designed for use in those situations, is the domed glass and the coating on the glass draws light in. And me and Chris was talking about this on a stream the other night on Instagram. But also they have a pinprick reticle. So it's not the whole reticle that lights up. It's just a speck in the middle of it. And that has 11 levels of illumination. And the lowest one is the lowest setting by like a third. So if you imagine them all taking equal steps, that 11th setting, which is number 1, is lower by a massively significant amount. What does that mean? It means that you can use it in through night vision, but it also means in very, very dark situations, you have this like a super dimly lit little pixel in the middle of your reticle. So if you can't see the reticle at all, but you imagine there's lighting in a house and you're shooting through a window and you can see the silhouette of the person, you put the pixel over that person and then you can take a shot. So the Razor is something very, very different in a long line of sort of low power variable optics. It's why they've been taken up by so many different units. I don't know who they are, but I get sent a lot of pictures of cool guys using Razors, and also now using the Huey and the 3x combo, which is pretty cool too. Hopefully I answered that. Pokerface got EOTech EXPS 3 and 2, Trigicon MRO, Aimpoint Comp M2, which is a great site. And I swear to the Aimpoint, but the EOTech is my go-to with MVG, which is understandable because now obviously the newer ones have a separate mode for night vision usage. But I don't know if you can still see the light from the front. Anyway.
Do you shoot with weak, eye closed, or open? Me using a red dot, I shoot with both eyes open.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, even with a little bit of zoom on. Yeah,
mate, it's like cutting the room in half. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the amount of times I've been somewhere, like say at Longmoor, posted on a window, and I'll be looking through with both eyes, and this eye is focused down here. But you've only got to see a bit of movement, and it's amazing how the human brain and body works. It'll pick up the slightest bit of movement, and your brain is drawn to that, even though it's in your peripheral. So from here right round to, so you can't see it from here right round to sort of here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, man. Like so, yeah. Both eyes open for me is an absolute winner.
Yeah, I think there's a few times where if I've really settled into an optic, like obviously the sniping days and even running with the SRS, there's been a few times where I've been able to know that peripheral sort of almost semi-covered. And if I've got it wound, not to take a shot, but to observe, and it's wound round to, 10 times, 12 times zoom, that I'll then settle in and just, allow my brain to completely focus on one side. But I think that's, more for me, because at that point you've got two completely different planes of focus. If you've got 1 times zoom, 2 times zoom, 3 times zoom on both eyes, you can still sort of see what's going on. But when you're at massive magnification, for me, I just settled right in. And obviously you're laid over as well. So your cheeks, my cheek rest is here. So even out of this eye, you can see for on the Vortex, the dial on the side, your parallax adjustment, and then fuck all else really. Do you know what I mean? So it depends really on the situation, but 9 times out of 10 got both eyes open. Still looking for a new optic. Richie's video was the device of my last optic.
Still looking for a new optic. Richie's video from Tack House was devised my last optic. Yeah, mate. Obviously that's so. Stu Lee, does anyone didn't see the video? He got it shot out at Tack House Spartan, the very last game they ever did before they shut down. and he hoofed it off into the sunset, literally booted the cunt.
Fucking brilliant.
But again, without rattling on, because I know Tim did a video, did a live stream with Chris the other day, but that's the difference, you know. He got his, you know, Stu, unfortunately, got his EOTech shot out. That's it. It's in the fucking bin. It's done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if that was a Vortex, just phone Chris up, get a new one. So Stu, mate, if you're undecided on a new optic, let me, fuck it, Stu, give us your address, mate. I'll post you my UH1. Try it out, mate. Take some shots in the garden. Fucking clear the house with it. Do you know what I mean? Do some root clearance in the house. Try it out, mate. See how you feel about it. I guarantee you will buy one. I wanted one anyway, but as soon as I looked through it and put some rounds through with the UH1, I was sold. Absolutely sold.
Yeah, we got shown them. I can't remember when. Quite early on, wasn't it? I don't know if it was IWA or not, but we got to look at a lot of the Vortex goodies, and we were both sort of sold. And it's just the variable setup. You know, the other thing with those guns is you can those sights is you can put them across multiple guns. So you know, take them off, redial them. Whereas with airsoft optics, the last thing you want is to be taking it off and trying to redial it, especially if they don't dial in well. So I'm just going to go through some of these questions. Yeah, bad one is gash. You want 2 or 3 inches eye relief. Do you know what? I agree that you do want like a set distance for eye relief, but I don't think you can say exactly what it is, because on different platforms I've had different levels of eye relief, and bearing in mind I've like been uber anal about this, where I've, you know, marked on my scar exactly where my rail mounts are, and I've measured where the gun, you know, the optic needs to sit in the mount and everything. And because the Vortex, I'll quickly show you, has got so much adjustment on the back on here for you to be able to work with your eye relief. So for example, if I dial this all the way out, can you see what I mean?
It'll fall out in a minute.
So you can almost, you've got almost 2 inches nearly of adjustment there. And yeah, this is gonna, you know, adjust your, you kind of almost like your rear eye focus, but you do have a lot of a volume there if you do need to wind it out a little bit. And again, you just need to get yourself comfortable in the optic. You do want about, you know, say 2-3 inches, but there's no real hard and fast rule, especially what I've found. You know, it depends on the optic, quality of the glass, as to how far away you want it and what setup you want. I want this so that, you know, we've got that almost limited edge around the outside. Do you know what I mean? So you guys are not going to be able to see this, but when you look through it, yeah, you're not going to be able to see it. You just can't see it that.
You need to get closer, didn't you? That's the problem.
You need to get super close to it. I can't get it close enough to the laptop, but they are great optics. Obviously, you know, we've tried working with Vortex as much as we can to, you know, try all their different shit out. And for me, I've just got to an optic where I'm super happy with it. It just does me.
I think likewise, mate. With my with this 3 times, I have to literally get. So I'm talking. What's that? Inch and a half, inch and 3/4.
Yeah.
Close to it to get rid of all the shadowing. So it just goes to show. Depends on the optic, depends on the person. But I have to get super close to get rid of all that shadowing on mine. But
so someone asked a really good question and just said, you know, how much real estate does the Razor take? If you look at Richie's optic setup, is much further back. So his starts here, and ends about where his magwell is. Bearing in mind, mine's the 5.56, so his 7.62 comes straight down from here. If you took this back to be in line with my back finger, the difference in my optic setup and Richie's is probably going to be an inch or maybe 2 inches. There's really not much in it at all. No, so you know, yes, these are a bit longer, but not massively.
Yeah. So I'm stopping about there somewhere.
Yeah. So if I brought mine back, you know, a few inches, you know, I've probably got an extra inch or maybe a little bit more, but not much.
Always the way, mate. Always the way.
You know. So yeah, there's not massive amount in it. If you do want to try any of this stuff out, what we'll try and do is we'll get Chris from Vortex down to one of our events. I'll get him to bring a load of shit for you guys to have a look at. We can't do much more than that. Just beware that when you see the difference in, you know, your clone optic compared to the Vortex stuff or any real steel optic, there's a big change and there's a big jump in price. You know, these optic setups are, yeah. You know, Richie, what's yours? $1,000, your setup? Was it more?
6, 7, 8. 850, 9, something like that.
Yeah.
Just shy.
Yeah, so just shy. Still a lot of money to spend on optics.
But that is for life. That is for life. So.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. Guess who sent his KOA super build to Camo Raids for a service? I've got nothing against Kingdom of Airsoft. Sam Liggett, really good guy. Definitely broke a lot of the ground for the TM community. So got no issue with Kingdom of Airsoft at all. You know, a lot of people.
I've shot one of his builds before, mate, and they are lovely. They are good. So no, you know, Sam does a great job. You know, his builds are great. So nothing, no bad blood there at all because he does a good job.
Yeah. Okay, so Rivers, we've answered that. Guys, MVG scope or goggles first? Run DMRs and snipers only and want to get into MVG? Get a scope.
Yeah.
If you're going to sit static a lot, you know, me and Richie have looked at some of the rabbiting and hunting night vision scopes. And, you know, they're fairly cheap. They're digital, like the Pulsar ones and stuff. They normally need to have a bit of a floodlight to make them work well. But if you're going to be still a lot, look at that. If you've got a big wallet, get thermal. Get a thermal Pulsar scope. You will not go wrong. Your body. Absolute body.
Say, if money was no object, and like Tim says, you had a big wallet, get a thermal clip-on. So have a magnified optic with a thermal clip on the front, and then run an NVG on top. That would be that's the dream. That's the dream ticket, mate.
Just as a pre-warning, thermal clip-ons are super expensive. You can get a full thermal scope though, like a Pulsar or a Yukon, and they're very good. They will run you a couple of grand, you know, somewhere between $2,000 or $3,000, but they are very, very good. And you can do loads of cool shit with them. Yeah, Pulsar XD50. Here he is himself, Mike Marden. How are you, mate? We were talking about you a lot tonight. Oh, Predator.
His ears must have been burning.
His ears must have been burning. We were talking about Apocalypse. Any of you guys that have questions around thermal or around thermal setups, if you're a DMR, if you're a sniper, any of those sorts of things, speak to Mike Marden. Drop him a message or ask for his Instagram. I'm sure he's happy to point you in the right direction. The guy has more kit than anyone I've ever met in my entire fucking life. He's definitely spent some money on kit. Maswell 96. We'll quickly cover this. Any more questions, guys? Because we need to wrap up. Any more questions? Please start putting your questions in the comments now, and we will start working our way through them. But this is a good question. Any chance you can explain the sleeping setup at Milsim's? Never been to one myself and can't find any information about how you go about it. I will talk from my perspective.
Just check our channel, mate. Check our channel. There's loads of stuff on.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff. Richie's got a video about his Milsim setup. I've got one on mine. But very briefly, depending when you say Milsim, it's like saying I'm going traveling.
Yeah,
it's the same sort of thing.
I'm going traveling. What jacket will I need?
Yeah, perfect. Well done, mate. Thank you. It's like asking that question. So we're not digging you out. We're just saying
no.
It's a super generic question, right? So where are you going? How long are you going for? What's time of year? What's the expected weather? You know, do you have an understanding of what the ground's going to be like? What's the topography going to be like? How steep is it?
Is there flat ground? Is there buildings? Is there hard standings? Is it a mixture of both? Yeah.
You need to find out all that shit and then essentially base your list of what you're going to need from that. And sometimes it is a bit of an unknown for sure.
Yeah. So just to break it down, we'll try to do this real quick. Right. If you're at a Milsim and you have a building, cot bed, air mattress, sleeping bag.
Cozy.
If you are out in the field and the ground is unknown, okay, you want a one-man bivvy, air mattress, sleeping bag. If you are in the woods and there's trees, big upright, pointy, sticky, woody trees, you want a DD frontline hammock, a DD 3x3 tarp, and a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
But in all of these situations, one thing remains the same. You will need an inflatable pillow. That's a must.
Yeah.
They're like a little present from God, they are.
Yeah. If Richie got me onto those. Also, do not fucking skimp out on your sleeping bag.
Nope.
I've seen so many people turn up with cry, head to toe, decent guns, dual tube nods and all this shit. And they've got an Argos or a Tesco sleeping bag, and they've got a shit pop-up tent. Right? Don't skimp out. Get yourself if you are going to get 2 hours sleep over an entire weekend, they need to be really decent 2 hours sleep. You want to be warm. You want to be dry. Me and Richie are both creatures of habit when it comes to sleeping, and we normally sleep during the day, so we want to be comfortable. We want to be able to get our head down, half decent. I don't like sleeping in clothes either, so last thing I want to do is get into my pit with fucking 10 layers on. So really good sleeping bag, bivvies and all the other ancillaries. It's worth spending a bit of money on, but definitely good sleeping bag. Summer one, winter one, whatever you choose to do. I've just got like a real heavy one, and if it's in the summer, I'll sleep with it open a little bit, or I'll sleep on top of it. But don't skimp out on a shit sleeping bag. It will fucking you'll regret it. I mean more about how you get situated. Is it already predetermined, or just where you decide?
Mate,
massively depends.
Just ask the event provider, mate. Like, if they can't tell you that, don't go. Simple.
Yeah.
Like this is what I mean, mate. Like, I shouldn't get on my high horse. I shouldn't, but we'll give advice and help people where we can. Right. That sort of question you should be asking the event provider, not us, mate.
Yeah.
We're not fucking Google. Come on.
Yeah. Agreed. And we can't give you the answers, mate, for stuff like that. We can advise you on kit, and we can tell you that no two sleeping arrangements going to be the same. I've slept, on a concrete floor in a fucking hut. I've slept at the bottom of a tree in a full kit, fucking a kilometre away from all my sleeping kit because we couldn't get over there because of shit that was happening in the middle. So, we can't predetermine it for you.
Anthony Sims, what belts you running? Looking for a good sturdy gun belt. Currently eyeing an FRV or Mil-Spec Taylor. Tim?
I use a Raptor Tactical Odin. It's it's pretty much a copy of the Odin Sentry belt. I got it from the US. It's been fucking brilliant. FRV and Mil-Spec Taylor and all those guys, they all do belts. They're all pretty much rip-offs of the Odin Sentry. I would probably say that Mil-Spec is going to be better than FRV, but they're all very, very similar. They're all made from the same material. Some of them are lined, some of them aren't. One thing I would tell you to consider is that you can have a stiff belt or you can have a flexible belt. What I mean with that is that they will have Kydex or some form of plastic stitched into the actual liner of the belt so it's stiff. I've gone for a non-stiff one, but I know a lot of people with shooters belts like to have the kind of Kydex liner, a stiff one. I mean, consider that more than anything else.
I've heard, just going from speaking to people, I've heard some mixed reviews about FRV, i.e. their quality control. But likewise, mate, Mil-Spec Taylor is based here in the UK. So if you are UK based, definitely please try and use homegrown if you can. because I've had other kit from Milsim Taylor, and his kit is good. It's very good. His quality control's on point.
Long leg airsoft. What a weird question. You boys running scars as CQB, or what FPS are they at? Yes, I'll use my scar for close quarters, and they are the UK legal limit. Simple as.
Yeah, so I believe it or not, I do use this one, this long boy, as CQB as well.
Scar on setting, scar stock on setting 500. That looks
500 out here. I do use this for CQB. It is an immense bit of kit. I asked Camera Rays to get this literally to the legal limit for me. And when I chronoed it at home, it was a variation of 368, 369, 368, 369, 367. And that was all 4 shots. So, yeah, if you ask it to be on the legal limit, they put it on the legal limit, trust me.
Yeah. James C. Milsim Taylor is sold to UKSF. Who hasn't?
Yes, mate. Yeah,
Who hasn't?
He's got kit in some special places.
Yeah. I do like the FRVFS. I found out the QC sucks to a degree. Good product, but roughly finished. There you go then, Tyler. Mate, Milsim Taylor it is. Got a Scar L myself, CQB, as well with the long barrel. Yeah. Anthony Sims, that's what I was looking for with the liner to get a smoother, more constant draw. I don't think having a stiff belt liner will give you a more constant draw. I think placement and having a good holster.
To a degree, if the belt is stiff, you're depending whether you've got a mid ride or low ride. If you've got a mid ride, it will stop some of that flex in the belt buckle.
Yeah.
But likewise, you really like you're saying, Tim. You need a good holster. You need a thigh strap to stop that lift. As you try and pull, you're not going to get that peel out away from your leg. You're going to just come straight up and out.
I think even if the belt's stiff, if you push your leg out and in, it's still going to move the holster about.
Tyler, training and holster placement. Yeah,
totally. Yeah. Tyler, bang on there, mate. But
I agree, mate. I got to a point where I had something on my rig that was here.
Yeah.
I had a big GP pouch, and I found I was coming around and trying to pull the gun almost like away from my body before drawing.
Yeah.
Fuck the pouch off. Made that side that was clear. So as I come down, as you're there, this hand comes up, this hand comes down simultaneously, and then it's that up and out, up and out, up and out. So training, muscle memory. Yeah.
A lot of that stuff we do cover. Guys, I know a few people were asking about it earlier. We did do a basics event. I highly recommend people go to it, even if you're a double Gucci fucking Jedi trained operator.
Super SF, like door kicker.
Yeah, we had a mixture of ex-serving veterans. We had a mixture of obsessed airsoft freaks and all the rest. And I know I threw it in there. But I've got to say, some of the performances on the day were definitely, from the people you wouldn't have expected it from. And there were some people that were pretty struggling in the morning that by the evening or the late afternoon had made some significant improvements on their performance. And I'm not saying that I sit on any high horse to be able to tell people what to do, but through their own learning and their own time to actually think about what they're doing, we saw people go from struggling to get their pistol out quickly to actually getting their pistol out, getting rounds down, doing reloads, doing movements, really consistently and consecutively on their own, and saw a lot of fucking good performances from people. So, we will consider doing another one.
I definitely, mate. I think, the whole THG sort of training event one that we done.
Yeah.
Bang on the money, mate. I saw a lot of people fail that I didn't expect to fail. And believe it or not, it was I don't know the guy's name. I don't want to say it because I don't want to show him up, but he came with there was pouches hanging off here, hundreds of like pistol mags and this and that with the tops open. And sure as shit, mate, like within the first 1 or 2 runs, there were fucking mags falling out here, mags falling out there, this, that, blah, blah. We didn't, we suggested ideas to him, but by lunchtime, I think he came to us, didn't he? He was like, mate, it's having that realization of yourself, and he realized that fuck, this just doesn't work. Although I run this here for years, it doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
And I think it's not about how good you are or how good you think you are or how big your ego is. It's your willingness to learn. And not when we say learn, we don't mean me and Tim standing going, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's you running a drill, realizing what doesn't work for you, and addressing that issue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Going like, okay, so I need to change a mag. Fuck it, it's right back here somewhere. I need to get this fucking mag somewhere back. I can't do it. In layman's terms.
Yeah, I think another thing that we said to everyone is like, right, guys, before we get going, just make sure that nothing's going to come flying out when you hit your first run. And we had to have myself, Richie, and Merrick picking stuff up because so many people were dropping shit, getting a lick on, that we just had to keep picking stuff up, right? And that happened. I had that issue when me and Richie went and rehearsed the day for the first time. I dropped shit. You learn.
Mate, we've all done it. This is what people who watch our streams, who watch our videos, seem to forget. We don't stand here because we took some fucking shortcut. We paid somebody £200 to get a shortcut. We've been there, we've done it, we've got the fucking t-shirt, we've learned the hard way. Do you know what I mean? I've lost mags, I've lost fucking pistol mags, I've lost all sorts of manner of shit. And I've gone to do a reload and I can't get to my fucking mags, or I've gone to do a mag change, the mag's not been in properly. All manner of fucking failures. But it's only because we've practiced and learned from our mistakes that we can move forward.
Yeah.
So it really is that. It's just, it's not what we want to do. The whole thing about the training events is giving a person somewhere to train, somewhere to practice without being judged, with no one watching, or not no one watching, but no one going, right, you shouldn't have, we've all been there. You've seen the videos on YouTube. Someone puts a video on YouTube or Insta, go, that's fucking shit. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. It's a non-judgmental environment. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah. And that's why it's, we've done it with no media. We took one photo at the end of everyone that was there because we wanted people to have a memory of what they'd done and what they'd learned. And again, like Richie said, it's not stand and preach. We go through some basic stuff at the beginning, of what we do, so that if someone is looking to try something new, they can try it how we do it. So we went through that. And then very quickly we get people moving. And we get people shooting and, people putting down a lot of rounds, people doing a lot of repetition. And that repetition is to find fault. And by the evening, again, like Camo put it in, it's about rocking up and being open-minded. It's probably my most favourite session that I've ever been involved in regards of Airsoft, in regards of doing training and having people there, because we actually saw people progress. And then we saw the same people saying, I want to do that again. Like, I want to come in where I am now to the session at the start of the next time and then leave even better and then come back and then leave even better. So we will definitely do another one. If you're open-minded, you want to come down, you want to place the train for the day, really go fucking ham, then we could do that.
Yeah, definitely. Long leg airsoft, Kydex holster on the mid-ride and the thigh strap is golden. Yes, mate, absolutely. I got my mid-ride and thigh strap from Kydex Customs UK. Absolutely wonderful bit of kit. Love it, mate. Absolutely love it. Although the thigh strap is starting to lose its retention slightly, but the holster's fine.
Tyler, considering this, I think this is HPA Tyler. I think that's who that is. The guy's pretty switched on. I think you're dead right. And this is the bone that me and Richie probably have to pick the most with people that, fill Instagram with all this shit of, training this weekend with the boys, doing this training, doing that training. And like flouncing about in the garden is not, going to give you sufficient training, right? It's just not.
Let me just flounce around the garden is fine. If you're training in the garden, that's fine. I don't want to cut you off, mate, but training and flounce around the garden is fine. If you're doing that in the garden and you've got a camera on you as well, that's when you've got a fucking issue.
Yeah,
like when you're doing it for Instagram, when you're doing it for YouTube, that's a problem. Yeah.
I think they probably termed that slightly wrong. You're right. Yeah. What I mean by flounce around the garden is you are out there in your full kit, taking loads of phots, saying that you're training when you're just standing in your garden taking phots.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I fucked that up. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I didn't mean training in your garden. I've trained in my garden. I've stood in the office doing reloads and all that sort of shit. That I totally get. What I mean is you go out in the garden in your full kit. Yeah, training tonight. Yeah, nods training, boys. Loads of photos, and then you go in and watch fucking Postman Pat and tuck yourself into bed. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what fucking jars me.
Into a toaster.
Yeah, I just like jars me. But I think there's a lot of people that love the idea of looking cool and then turn up to events. Even at our training event, I think we asked people to do some drills. And then when we sort of stood back from the drill and said, right, this is what just happened, everyone was like, fuck, I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't think about this. Didn't consider this. Didn't consider that. Oh, I've always done it this way. I mean, Richie were like, well, look at the scenarios, that could potentially happen falling on from this. And they were like, fuck, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
It's just realization, and we don't do shit to purposely catch people out. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that want to look cool first. And I think you look much fucking cooler when you can do all your other shit first.
Yeah, I think there's talkers and there's doers, mate. There's lots of guys that talk the talk and put videos online and this and that and the other. And this is why we, like Timmy, you said, we wanted a strictly no media at our training event, because what we didn't want to do is get guys videoing each other on how cool they fucking look on their run up to the shooter's board or working the shooter's board, all the different angles and swapping shoulders and this shit. Because people get so wrapped up in how cool they fucking look. They don't give a shit about whether they can do the drill, whether they can hit the target 30 meters that way or not. Because it soon took, 2-3 runs for guys that on the low level shooters boards, because of the height over bore issue,
mate,
the rounds are pinging off the fucking board. I've done it. You've done it. We've all, any guys that have worked the shooters board will know that height over board is an issue. It's a massive issue. Luckily, we're only using 6mm BBs and not 5.56 that will shred the board and put splinters in your face.
Yeah. So there's a few things here. What's your preference? Relocate, mags, drop until dump pouch. I presume that's meant to be, or drop on the floor. I fucking hate people that drop their mags on the floor. I just fucking hate it.
Without giving away a spoiler, obviously we at our last training event, we got guys to do 2 rounds on target, reload, another 2 rounds on target. So Tim was there. Tim was one in the line. I was the other. We said, right, guys, low ready, shake yourself off, get ready. 2 rounds on target, mag change, 2 rounds on target. The amount of guys, I'm going to say, what, 80%?
Probably 70-80%.
75?
Yeah, bang on.
Literally done some fucking mag flip. Next mag.
Fuck it!
Oh, get the mag out of there. Grab the new mag in 2 rounds. So at which point we said, right, now move 2 meters forward towards the target. Same again. So done same again. And we did this over and over again until someone went, I've got no magazines left. Can I go and pick that one up? We went, no. All of you lot that have dumped your mag on the floor, you can have them back at the end of the day. And everyone looked at us like we just took a shit on their nan. It was like,
why are you doing this to me?
Why are you doing this to me?
That's like, bro, listen.
But it was to prove a point. It was to prove a point that me and Tim are a massive advocate of an admin reload. The minute you
100%.
fuck that mag off onto the floor, it's gone. Forget about it.
Yeah. You know, this is, you know, when you see Hollywood films and this guy's got 20 mags across the front, right? And they're just, you know, you see it in Extraction, you see it in all of the famous firefights. These guys, that what they want to do is eject that mag as fast as possible, and they want to get the new mag in. And obviously, with that big flick, they're going to stop any stovepipes. They're going to stop any jams that may potentially happen, as when they're putting the last rounds out, if any brass is still sat in the mag or anything like that, to stop any dislocated mags, right, or rounds. So that big flick can be fucking handy, right? And in Hollywood, you can drop magazines all over the place because you don't have to worry about ammo or re-bombing or regenning. You're just going to firefight through until you're dead. Now, we all know within Airsoft, if you're having a static firefight and you need to change as quick as possible, you know, the fast thing to do probably is to dump it on the ground. But 99% of the time, you don't need to do that. And me and Richie have actually was timing these. I was timing these as to how quick I could get my relocation sort of admin reload done, and it's fucking marginal. I mean, it was like 0.2 of a second faster to do it that way than it was to re-index. I got it really nailed at one point. And Richie's dead right. You're in the woods, you're at the trees, you're having a rolling firefight anywhere. You know, that option of dropping your mags is just, it doesn't work for Airsoft. It does not fucking work.
And obviously, I think WKD said that you know, that obviously regarding gas pistol mags, they're not as robust, but let's face it, like we buy this kit ourselves. It's not cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't normally just buy one mag. You've only got to buy a pack or something. But you know, you dump a mag and fucking lose it. That's coming out of your pocket. You know. And I've been when I was in the days of Tier 1. You know, we used to do some of, I think it was Op Snakebite. Some of the rolling firefights, mate, would go on the length of these woods. You'd be like bounding this firefight for 300 yards. Do you know what I mean? And it would just be like moving, changing, and you'd be doing this, and you'd burn through your whole fucking, obviously like selective fire, but you'd burn through your whole ammunition like in this one sort of multiple bound. And if you didn't keep your mags on you, your face gone, mate. That was 200 meters that way, gone. You know.
Yeah.
And I think step out the firefight to grab your mag, you're letting your teammates down. So, you know.
I mean, I think there's that, mate, and then there's also this sort of, it's a badmin move, right? You know, it's a badmin move. As soon as you've got to go, sorry lads, I need to go pick all my mags up, so I've dropped them all at the bottom of some fucking trees. It's shit admin. You know, now I know guys that massively favour dump pouches, and I think there's a separate argument in there. I'm not a fan of them because I've never used one. I've never liked using one. I've always thought that they junk and jiggle around like fuck. If you put them on your ass, it means as soon as you get in a vehicle that you're going to sit on the cunts. I just have never really liked, you know, I've never really done anything for me. But I know that there's a lot of guys that like using them. So, you know, I'm not going to get into the dump pouch argument. You know, if people want to use them, fine. I always think you look like an arsehole when you're in all your kit and you're trying to fucking can you get my mags out my dump pouch for me? And you're like, fuck off. It's so easy to run a decent admin reload, but the whole dropping of mags is just, it's fucking jars me. And I think, you know, there's obviously the reason around, you know, damaging your kit. You know, I saw Richie drop one of his Scar H mags and bent the top of it over.
Yeah.
Remember? And I was like, mate, and you know, there's 2-3 more times of doing that with that mag and it will snap, right? Because they're only like, you know, light metal. So there's the chance of breaking shit when you drop them. And then also the fact of losing them. Like we was with a mate of ours, he lost 2 gas mags within the space of like 10 minutes. They're like 60 quid a mag. You know, you don't want to lose shit like that. You just don't want to. And also, it's good drills. You know, I have a certain order that I go through them. It's a bit funky compared to some other people, but it's an order that I go through. and then I know where I'm at and what I've got loaded up. And then what I normally do is whenever I get a second, if I've got speed loader on me or Richie's fucking putting rounds down and I've got a break in the firefight, I'll pull that first mag, I'll quickly lay back, get my speed loader out, quickly bomb that one up, boom, put that back in, and I'm ready to go. And I can start working through them in the breaks. And that will keep me up as long as possible. And that's the idealistic situation, is that you can re-bomb and flow in a firefight to just have almost a continuous amount of rounds until you've hit your round count limit that you should have on you. But I just fucking hate seeing people fling mags everywhere. It jars the shit out of me.
Like you say, mate, I think I did that once. Like I dropped. Obviously, I'm used to M4 mags.
Yeah.
I've had steel. I've had like the alloy ones. I've had the P, like the plastic sort of P mags. I think the Crytac or something.
Yeah.
But they're built pretty robust. They're just a standard rectangular section as an M4 mag is. It's pretty. There's nothing sticking up. With anyone that's bought a Scar Heavy TM1 knows that you have these little metal tangs sticking at the back. And I remember to this day, mate, like I didn't fling it. I didn't do anything with it. I just went, oh fuck, and dropped it, and it landed awkwardly, mate. And went, bent the fucking tang. And I was like, that's fucking shit.
We were training. It was one of our training days at the quarry. Just me and you.
I was like, that's gash, mate. Like exactly like you said. So if that happens a couple more times, that's that corner gone.
Yeah.
And I was not happy with TM with that, but yeah, it just goes to show, mate, you can't go fucking mags off onto the floor. It's just not the done thing.
Yeah. So a few people asking about, the training events, people that want to do them. We will do one. We really enjoyed doing them. It's low numbers. You get lots of time to shoot, and as well, lots of times to move things around and think and whatever. We had camo raids there last time. We had Vortex there last time. So it's really good for people to try different optics out. It's about coming down. I don't give a shit if you're wearing 12 grand's worth of kit or you're wearing 1,200 quid's worth of kit. It's come down, spend the time using the kit that we put out for people, which is decent kit. It's robust, it's solid. We do some exercises that will help you think and that will push your fitness a little bit. So, if you're a big guy and you're carrying a little bit, sign up to it, but you're not going to be stood static all day. So just be careful.
But again, we can't stress enough that we put on our training events to give people an opportunity to get better. That's what it's all about. It's not about taking photos. It's not about doing cool videos for Instagram. It's about getting better at what you do, about putting rounds down range, mag changing quicker, whether it's swapping shoulder to shoulder quicker, getting used to height overboard. There's all manner of things that this encompasses, but it's about you guys coming down using our kit to get better at what you do. In a non-pressured environment. That's literally it. That's it.
Yeah. I think that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, MVG1 was tough. I mean, Stu Lee just talking about that. He came down for our night vision event, which is essentially it was like the basics course we did.
That was for the men.
on absolute fucking steroids. I mean, but also we had some really, really shit weather.
Yeah, mate.
My earpods are dying, so we may have to deal with
Major File. Will you have camo rules at your Ruckus event? Me personally, I think we're still discussing that. I don't think so. We're still trying to figure out a way of what we're going to do, but I think we won't use camo rules, mate. It's just a massive tear up. So
we might do something like Curry's band or right.
So Tim's audio's gone. He's gone like a robot again. So Tim might have to refresh his browser or something there. But so basically, just to answer Radio File, we're looking at options, mate, to do with armbands and stuff. But it'll be basic, mate. It'll be stupid, silly, something really. We want to give the opportunity to everyone to turn up, whether you've got green kit, tan kit, civvy kit, whatever it is. We just want you to turn up, have a shoot, and just have a right old tear up, mate.
Is that any better? Still sound like a robot.
Muchos buenos.
All right, good.
Muchos buenos.
As soon as these disconnect, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Stu so, you know, the MVG event was really tough. We had a lot of people there. The weather was really bad. We were trying to cater to people that had got wet. We've got catering to people that had turned up a few hours early. It was tough. It was really tough, but we enjoyed it, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it. So boom, colour tape works nice and simple. That's what we're thinking. Colour tape. Get fucking one team out there, get another team out. You know, this isn't about looking pretty. It's not about, you know, doing super Gucci taskings and doing ops and recce shit. This is about coming down and getting squared up with another team that's decent. There's going to be fucking good lads on both sides. Yep. So don't expect to turn up and to be facing 15 Taliban kids that are on rentals. There's going to be some fucking ballers on both sides.
Don't expect to turn up and meet like 15 rentals with G36s. It's not going to happen. You're going to turn up with, you're guaranteed to at least meet 10 camo super builds on the opposite team. So you're in for a tear up. So, but this is what we want. We want guys to get challenged. We don't want people to turn up and have just fall over each other and have a walk in the park. Want it to be a good scrap, a nice good scrap.
Yeah. So again, to Richie's point, there will be some good guns on both sides, and there will also be in the hands of some decent, experienced players, and you'll be fighting over something really basic. So all you need to focus on is simple objective and working as a team and using whatever toys you have at your disposal to fucking get stuck in.
So sorry, mate. I've got to address this because poor old Rivers has asked this question about 3 times. Helmet systems. What helmet systems do you guys use? Pads and harnesses.
I'll quickly grab mine. Give me a sec.
Yeah, grab yours because mine's a bit of a Franken lid. Mine's a bit of a makeup of about 3 different builds. So
right. So I'll run through this really quick because I've tried a couple of different lids out, and I fucking love this lid. So this is the FMA bump fast lid, I think it is, and it's called the LPT X-Fill. There's a few different versions of this lid. Some are more expensive and some are cheaper. The main thing you want to make sure is it's got this retention system. So it's the new retention system with the wire. And this is a copy of the Team Wendy, and it's got the standard liner kit in it, although I've got the Lux pads. It is super fucking comfy. Feeling, and after getting hands-on with an LTP, a legit Team Wendy, the pads feel identical. If they're not from the same place, I'll be fucking surprised. You're probably not going to be able to see, but they're like memory foam. So if I push my fingers in here, see, it will stay like that, and then it will just slowly form back out.
Yeah.
So it's super, super comfy. There's loads of adjustment. The neck strap's nice and comfy. The chin strap's nice and comfy. It's a really, really good lid. The shroud is a little bit shit, but that might be because I've got one of the really old FMA LG24 clones. So it might not actually be the shroud. It might just be that this mount's a bit shit. But I had to do a little bit of modding in there just to put a spacer in to make it fit. But other than that, it's a really, really good lid. But that's what I use. You can get these and polish them up a little bit and put like the legit internal systems in them. But I've ran this with a set of BNVD 51s with a counterweight pouch on the back. I've run my mono on this for tons and tons of hours. This is the most comfortable lid I've worn ever in Airsoft, ever. And it's nice and light. And it's nice and airy. So really, really happy with this thing. I paid 40 quid for it, 30 odd quid.
Yeah, it's super lightweight.
I've got the Emerson TNVC counterweight pouch and top strap, which again was AliExpress, nice and cheap. But that was good as well.
So mine's a bit of a Franken lid. I don't really know exactly what model lid this is.
Fucking Gucci lid.
I think it's an FMA. I think it's a Maritime. I think.
Yeah. Is it a Maritime long with the lower back neck?
Long, yeah. It's so basically it's got the longer back to it.
That's it. Yeah.
So I think this is the high cut, the Maritime high cut. I think. Again, I got this so many years ago. I don't even. It must have cost me at 35 quid, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the original pad set basically wore out and got up in with me sweating on it all the time. So I think I changed it for the same as you, Tim. It was basically the Lux liner set.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, same as me. Yeah, just yours is tan, mine's black.
So it did take a fair bit of modding to get this to fit, but it did fit, and it is super. Because I might believe it or not, mate, I've actually got a tiny little head.
Little beard.
I've got a lot of padding in there, so this thing is super snug. The other thing I would say, unlike your one, Tim, I know your dial set works so well. Yeah. The dial on this, mate, is shit. It literally does up, and then with a bit of movement, it comes undone. So steer clear of this.
Yeah.
But what I would say is I have the Agilite helmet bridge, and what a bit of kit. As you can see, obviously in there, I've got the Anvis battery pack. In there, it's got the Anvis battery pack. Room for batteries either side. As you can see, I've got a CR123. You've got room for a AAA or AA. Coming down, strobe, MSA strobe, sionyx Aurora Sport in the erosion camo pattern on the top there. But again, the Agilite helmet bridge does come with these little side wings as well. So as you can see, I've got my power connection just under this piece of elastic, which keeps all the cabling nice and stowed away. So you're not gonna, other than this bit here, this is all quite stowed. So yeah, I do love this lid. I do. It's not the best. It's better since I put the liner in, but the whole chin strap thing sits off to one side, like rather than the chin strap sitting here, it sits up to one side.
You should look at getting that, because they sell them separately, these systems. Yeah, you can get them on AliExpress. Next time I come across them, mate, I'll grab you one. You literally, they just bolt into the same spots.
Really? The same points?
Yeah. So like one there.
Yeah.
One there. So where that bolt is, where your finger just was, in there somewhere. That one, that's it. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. Really?
So it's just those 4 points. So here and here, here and here. So you can get them. And again, they are pretty good. And this has been super comfy. Now,
I'll be honest with you, mate. This is not the lightest.
I know it's not. I know. And so, this is a thing. So me and Richie, a little while ago, we had a chat about getting some Team Wendy's. I know lads have sort of started getting hold of them now in the UK for half decent price. When I went down the road of getting them, they were selling on Optics Planet for $160. So it worked out about 140 quid. And I spoke to, I can't even remember the name of the company in the UK, something Serpent Tactical, Snake Tactical, some bullshit like that. And they wanted about 300 quid in total. And I was like, nah, I'm not into it, and spending that much. And I ended up buying that in the meantime, just while I was going to get Team Wendy. And now I wouldn't bother. I know, is it M-Tech or someone was talking about PTS? That's it. PTS have got a new helmet coming out.
Yes,
they look really cool. But again, it's very similar to the bump. Until I start having problems with the bump, I won't replace it. It's fucking so good. Mike Marden, very good question. And I didn't pay him to say this. Promise I didn't pay him to say this. He said, have you shot much footage through the NVG? No, we haven't. But through the power of the internet, I wonder if I can show you a little sneak peek of a video.
Jay Fitzy, here he is. Sorry, mate, just read your comment. Ben, what a guan. Nice to have you boys along. Epic, yeah, Team Wendy, Epic Line of Clone.
Richie, I'm just going to give something a quick try.
Yep.
To see if
I've got mine from Optics Planet. Paid heavy on the input fees and postage. Yeah. Yeah.
if we can.
Here we go. Oh, Premiere. Eyes down for full house. Bingo.
Ready? Let's see if this works. If guys, let me know if you can hear the audio.
Trying to get this cake, that 99 40 count stay on my waist. While I'm circling my block, my shorty's pumping that weight. I'm a go-getter coming straight out the Chastain. I'm in a great situation, I'm eating good. And the whole shot love me cause I rep the hood. Flip a bird to the law and the motherfucking haters. Dollar boys, what's happening? Get up to it. And we always in the booth making gangster music. I can teach you how them Chi-Town gangsters do it. This ain't that crap, nigga, this that heroin music. I'm flooding the streets just so you can abuse it. J Stone, Kane, and White in the lab, catch your bitch, she giving head the night. Word life, I let her hit the piff. Now man gone. Dollar boys rip the shot, now it's on. Wild hunters to the motherfucking low, to the west side, nigga, you know how it go. You got beef, bitch. Well, I gotta do ya. If you make it, then your moms will say hallelujah. Clap, clap, wrap it up, bitch, show's over. I say shots like your minutes, you'll roll over. Fuck with this bitch, you probably get booted up. Like your whip on the street, straight booted up. Men don't hate, that's a female trait, nigga. You got baggies and we sell weight, nigga. We true gangsters with hip-hop ink. And I still ride old schools with flip-flop paint, bitch. Dollar boys get money, nigga, true steals. Catch me flicking, switch the leak with the blue steel. 10,000, homie, that's a half a key. Y'all 500 niggas, that's half a G. You with the feds, bitchin' with grins. Shit, you going to hell to us, snitching a sin. And I won't hesitate to bust that can. Y'all geek, nigga, I air out that van. Bitch, Chase Stone, holla. Bitches, J Stone, I let my 9 burst. I leave these niggas laying in that pine hearse. Oh shit, these niggas done fucked up. Tough luck when I have to willy my truck up. And lay some niggas down like I do my hoes. I come through.
Boom. Got my link, boom.
So guys, it's just a quick cut of some footage that me and Richie took a little while back. The very footage taken at the end, so the more colourful footage, is through the sionyx, and the rest of the footage was recorded via our night vision.
Yeah. So basically, from the part I threw the flashbang in, that was from the Sonics Aurora onwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the last bit of the sionyx footage is really good. Now, admittedly, I've had to upscale the footage from 720p to 1080p, so it's lost a little bit of clarity, but it is really, really good. Admittedly, really, really impressive. So I'm just going to have a quick bounce through here, some of the questions. B1 Raider, Tim, show us your wallpaper. What you saw, that background screen, isn't my wallpaper. So if I put me and Richie like this, this is one of the THG screens. I don't know how else I can sort of say that, but if I leave it like this, let me see if I can show you what that image is. It's just some of the events that me and Richie have done over the years.
Going way back.
Yeah, going way back. Let me see if I can find them. So yeah, guys, just before as we start to wrap this up, any more questions? Obviously, firstly, thank you everyone for watching. Still got like 50 people watching. If you could slap a like on the video, that'd be fucking awesome wherever you are. If you are on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, whatever, that'd be really cool. Any last questions, guys? slap them in. But yeah, that was a little sneak peek. That video is going to drop next week. Should come out on Monday.
So yeah, just yeah, like I say, just a little sneak peek. But like I say, there was some light footage, some dark footage, but obviously it was shot over the event of over the course of a night time, so the ambient light changed through the night. So just goes to show you how the ambient light affects all manner of nods. You know, whether that's Gen 2, Gen 3, sionyx, whatever it is. You know, ambient light is key. So anyone who thinks that getting Gen 3s will automatically make you see in the back, you know, in the dark. It is not the truth.
It doesn't always work that way. I'm trying to find where the heck I put that image.
So any more questions, guys, about anything, whether it's the Ruckus event, whether it's moving forward to the end of 2020, whether it's the world apocalypse that's coming soon? I mean...
Right, guys, while we're doing that, we'll quickly show you what that image is. These are some of the events that me and Richie have done over the years. You can see how the kit's changed. Helmets, guns, optic setups. A picture of Richie there with a non-TM scar. Just saying.
Which one's that?
The one with me and you with the GSRs on. You've got the VFC Scar H.
Oh shit! Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. But a lot, you know, this is the thing. Like, obviously, we've been. I'll pull this down now, but me and Richie have been rolling together for a little while. We've done a lot of fun shit. You know, we've hit a lot of events. We've stacked a lot of fucking bodies. We've had some fucking laughs. Like, you know, as much as we get sort of almost pushed into this fucking image of, oh, well, them two only care about all the Gucci shit and, you know, sit behind their desk. They don't know. I think it was one of the EE lads where they don't even fucking play that much.
They don't fucking play.
I was like, well, look at this image. Like, don't forget, me and Richie have only been doing THG for just over 2 years. So you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 events, including video shoots, our own events, loads. Sorry, Richie.
Sorry, mate. But this is my live stream on Insta. You know, the other week. Anyone that caught it would have caught me at about fucking 20% of my rage. Now, these guys don't even fucking play anymore. No, cunt. Right? It's the fact that you haven't been around long enough to see us play these events. That's the fucking difference, right? Now, all these events were taken over the span of 2, 3, 4 years. Now, just because you've been on the block for a year and a half, if that, a year maybe, on the Milsim scene, and you haven't seen us play, it's because there's no events to play. Yeah. So don't comment on something you don't even know nothing about, because obviously, like Tim. Obviously, I knew well. I didn't meet Tim, but Tim was at the same event that I was at, but we didn't even know each other back then. At the Valley, Tim was op 4, and I did a 4-day event in the Valley. We both did. But on opposite teams, and didn't even know each other.
In 2013.
So 2013, and obviously I've been playing since 2009, something like that, I think. So don't tell me that Richie and Tim don't even play. No, it's just we pick our events.
Yeah, but also, you know, as most of the people in this thing know, there's lots of private events. There's lots of shit that you can get to. There's lots of shit that you can't get to. Life is one of the things where we play when we can, right?
Yeah. But
the standard of event that we go to is normally quite high. You know, teams can go and play every weekend and skirmish. It's not really what I've ever been into. Yep. You know, it's what caused me all the shit in the random trashy days of people saying, "Oh, he doesn't like skirmishing." Like, well, it's just not really what I'm into, right? I'd rather go training for the day. And now we've got the space to do it. You know, it's better for us to fucking do it that way, right? It's to go and train than to go and sort of spill a load of rounds, you know, shooting at people, you know, in a you know, kind of a skirmishy fashion. It's just not really what we want to do. I found that comment a little bit funny. I'm like, this is from a new team that's done like 1 sterling ever, right? Which I think is still a very good grading for a team's experience, is to see how many sterlings they've fucking done. You know, it just, it's funny. You know, and this picture in the background you can see is, you know, it's come through the years. We've done a lot of shit. It's funny as. Jay Fiercey, I've been to a brick tax. I don't think I know what I'm talking about when I say THG.
I fucking love Jay, mate. He cracks me up.
I don't know if I've got that photo. See, that's another event, Richie, from the one from. We need to make a collage of all the events we've done, right? So we can say, well, people say, oh, they haven't done that many events. We can say, well, you know, there's 30 odd events that we did, but obviously we done the night event with Jay. We spent the whole night out on the ground, having a bit of a tear up until about midnight, when me, Jay, Richie, and the rest of our and Parky Robson. And then all of Grey Fox walked through the enemy regen area on the way out with absolutely no one in it. It was like,
basically, because we basically walked through the enemy regen to go and hang our fucking guns up because there was no one else to shoot because everyone had gone to bed. We was like, oh, well, this is done then.
I remember Jay saying to me, well, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't know, just sit up for a bit. I don't really sleep at night. Me and Richie were up till 4, I think, something like that. Me, Richie, Robson and Parky, and woke up in a puddle, like actually fully in a puddle.
Sorry, babe, just in 17, different call sign, but it was funny. EE walking around Caerwen clueless, recording each other for the gram. I'm out. I'm done.
Murdered. Absolutely fucking murdered.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
What we're trying to do, guys, if also I need to wrap up as well. If there's anything that you want to see from us, let us know. What I would quite like to do is get some photos together of some of the events that me and Richie have done, and we'll talk you through what we did and whatever, and some of the cool shit that we did. Because I think some of it people could learn from, and we can also try and gather some ideas from you guys as to some good ops. Me and Richie sat on a hillside one night and watched a meeting between an enemy leader and like one of our forces leaders. Remember, I can't remember where we were, but we got eyes on this meeting and it was pretty cool. You know, it was quite a cool thing. So, you know, we could talk through some of the shit we've got up to.
Even if Tim was covered in IR chem light.
Oh, yeah. Richie, my boots are glowing. Oh, sorry about that, Rob.
1 minute, Tim. Let me mark the ground with this IR chem. Oh, fuck.
It was all down your legs, all over my boots, and I just you went. Have I got any on my hands?
Amazing. Also, do you know what I'd like to do, guys? Obviously, I've got a memory span of a goldfish. So if there's any events that you've been to that me and Tim have been at and you have a memorable moment or something, just please let us know. Send us a DM. We'll try and jot it down and we'll try and get like a timeline of events between with us, what we've done and how you guys step in and out of that timeline would be awesome. Yeah,
that'd be really cool. Richie, remember falling off that chair with your beer at breakpoint? I wasn't at breakpoint.
Oh fuck! Yes, I'd see. I've got a memory span of a goldfish. I told you. Yes, mate. Do you know what? We were inside this fucking building. It was. Bear in mind, it was in the summer, mate. It was Baltic. It was fucking freezing. It was colder in the building than it was outside. And we'd all just bedded down. We'd get everything settled. You know, nice little spot, tight little spot. We've gone. Right. Snug pack on, fleece on, everything lovely. Right, let's break out a beer. And I don't remember what happened, but I think Pete, mate, I can't remember exactly. Did I lean back or lean over? But either way, I've gone and fucking gone. I managed to just about rescue the beer with some like gyro hand. It was it's funny.
Fucking brilliant. Right, Richie, I'm going to bounce, mate.
Yes, mate. I'm absolutely snapping my neck for a piss. Massively.
Listen, thank you everyone that's joined.
Yes. So,
super appreciated.
Ben, Fitzy, Tyler, Anthony Cook, N17, BO1 Raider, Radiophile, anyone who I've WKD. I'm just going through some of these guys. Obviously, Mike Marden. Anyone else who I've forgotten? Guys, thank you so much for commenting, giving the questions, and yeah, some good chat tonight. Good chat. It's been good.
Yeah, wicked. Mike Marden, APOC Milsim 2017, night fights, and we're on opposite teams, and we opt for set the woods alight with a fire by firing a mortar.
that was the one. That was the one when Mike Marden absolutely fucking bodied me, and I was fuming.
Fucking insane. Right, guys, thank you so much again. Any questions, any moments, anything like that, drop us a DM. Anything you want to see from us, let us know. We will put some more information about the ruckus as soon as we know once this has been lifted. Keep your eyes on social media. If you know, we'll put out what to do.
We want you guys along. We want you guys to come.
Yeah, all the people that are on the streams, we'd love to, absolutely fucking love to have you there. Put some faces to the names. But thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. Fucking super appreciate it. We are out of here. See you later, guys. Thanks again.
Cheers, boys. Have a good night, y'all.